to the Saturday game where I didn't really get that feeling for whatever reason, but they're getting more time together again, and the power play, two-fifths of it hadn't been with the group for, almost 3 weeks. So that I think there's going to be a matter of that getting fixed out by just being together, playing together, skating together. So, and I do think, the attack mentality, there was a little bit too much passivity for sure on Monday. They got the attempts on net, and there were stretches where they did maybe play a little bit better. But I think they look at that game. They say, there's stuff we like. There's stuff maybe we didn't like so much. We still got the win. We got away with it against the Sharks. Yeah. But now going on the road for a little while, you're going to need to be a bit better than that.
Yeah, 6 of the next 7 away from home. Providing context, though, Vitek Vanacek did make 33 saves. He was the first star of the hockey game, which Dwayne Gilowoychuk was in direct contrast to the last start for Linus Ullmark. Will be back between the pipes tonight for the Ottawa Senators, looking to rebound from allowing 5 goals on 15 shots and getting removed from the game before it was even 20 minutes old on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really important for the Winnipeg Jets to make his night as difficult as they can and as quick as they can. They've got to get pucks on him. They've got to make those first pucks that he sees hard to see. They got to look around bodies. They got to make it difficult for him to just get comfortable in the net. And if they can score early, there's that little doubt that I think that if you talk to a goaltender, if you get pulled and that first shot or the first couple shots sneaks in or goes in, it's that doubt that starts thinking about, here we go again. So I really think the Winnipeg Jets are going to have that mindset. I'm sure it got reminded to them in their pre-scout, especially by the goaltender coach, I'm sure. And I think it's going to be important. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of pucks directed at him in the first period.
And here I have this great survey question for the boys in the booth and you two guys, and now it's a moot point because of the injury situation for Ottawa, but I was going to take a survey of the guys on whether they thought and how long it would take for Brady Tkachuk to pay his first crease call to Connor Hellebuck, just to let him know that, it's game back on again. But Tkachuk's not going to play tonight, so I'll have to figure out something for tomorrow night in Nashville. When we come back, we will lean on the coach for keys to the game. Christian O'Mell actually has some scoreboard information that he can share with us tonight as a preview after just having the Vegas and Los Angeles game on Monday night. That's when we come back to wrap here on the Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools pregame show at 680 CJOB.
Lowry moving in, shoot, score! Jets fans, the playoffs are just around the corner, and your Winnipeg Jets are gearing up for a deep playoff run. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the electric atmosphere at Canada Life Center by placing a deposit on a 2025-2026 season ticket membership. Experience the legendary Winnipeg Whiteout live and in person by visiting winnipegjets.com/deposit.
If it sounds too good to be true, well, you know the rest. But I get it. Some deals sound tempting, like this guy.
These prices are insane! The boss has lost his mind!
When it comes to your home's heating system, do you really want to do business with a company that resorts to gimmicks like this? You could call them and see what they are really offering, and then give Mr. Furnace a call. In fact, they encourage you to call around and get quotes first, and then call Mr. Furnace. You'll see why. Give it a try. Call 204-832-6243.
Yo, Dr. J Winnipeg's in the house with a message for the boys.
Here's to all my homies who are done having babies. You made up your mind, no, we'll see. Or maybe he's gotta take care of business. No need to be tripping, cause he don't use needles or scalpels for the snipping. In less than 10 minutes you get on with your day. So do yourself a favor, yo, and see the doctor named Jay.
Book your vasectomy today with Dr. J Buenafe at Buenafe Clinic. See vasectomymanitoba.ca.
Things are moving nice and smooth this Wednesday evening. We have no incidents reported. Southbound Osborne is backed up from Broadway to Confusion Corner. We do have some slow-moving traffic on southbound Pembina headed to Clarence. There is a delay on southbound Keniston from Sterling Lyon to Lindenwood. Northbound St. Mary's is moving slow as you get closer to the Norwood Bridge. And there is some heavy traffic on southbound Donald between Portage and Broadway as project continues. Hurry, the Specsavers Savings event is wrapping up soon. Head down to get 2 pairs of glasses, including single vision lenses, for only $99. Conditions apply. See specsavers.ca. That's 680 CJOB traffic. I'm Devoza.
I'm Global News meteorologist Peter Quinlan here with a check on your forecast. Temperatures tonight headed down to -6, wind chill -11 with a northwest wind 30 gusting to 50 km. Chance of some patches of rain or snow, just light though. Into your Thursday, maybe some early day sunny breaks, but mostly cloudy skies will dominate the day. Chance of a late day flurry as we get up to 0 or +1, -4 Friday morning with cooling temperatures to finish off February down to -6 and a few more flakes and a gusty wind.
Right now enjoying a beautiful sunset on this Wednesday evening and +1 degree at 680 CJOB.
Brought to you by Play Now. Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. There is no better way to get ready for game night. The official Winnipeg Jets pregame show continues on 680 CJOB.
That's what we're building towards, coming down the stretch here and into the playoffs. There's going to be those games where, you're down 2-1 or 1-0 late in the third period, and you got to find a way to win. And I think it's good for our group's confidence to know that we can do that. And, it's just good to get another 2 points.
Winnipeg defenseman Logan Stanley on the Jets' stick-to-itiveness. Boy, that even one-room school grammar wouldn't compute there. But I'll tell you what, they've stuck with it in the wins over St. Louis and the San Jose Sharks. As we walk you back to the Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools pregame show, shop with a professional tradespeople shop at their new location, 1557 King Edward Street. Just before we consult with the coach on the keys to the game from the CJOB newsroom, we want to remind you that the province says potential human remains have been discovered at a landfill where search teams have been working to find 2 slain First Nations women. Officials say steps are underway to identify the remains from the site, which is, of course, located just north of Winnipeg. It's believed the remains of Morgan Harris and Mercedes Myron were disposed of and ended up at the landfill in May of 2022. A search of the landfill, spearheaded by the provincial government, began in December after police refused to search the area due to safety concerns. The province says the 2 women's families have been notified of the finding and have been to the landfill. If there are any further developments to share, we will do so throughout the evening here on 680 CJOB. All right, as we wind down the Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools pregame show, Coach Dwayne Gilawojchuk, I don't know if you had started to formulate your keys last night and this morning before the skate, but I would imagine if so, they would have changed quite dramatically after the news that neither Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, or Shane Pinto will be in the lineup tonight for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, when I was just kind of doing some work, some prep work to see the lineups and listening to different interviews, when you take those bodies out of the lineup of any team, players of that caliber out of any team, it's going to be a worry for sure for the home team. And I think the Ottawa Senators are going to play desperate hockey tonight. And so in order for the Winnipeg Jets to combat that, I think one thing is going to be really important is going to be puck management. They can't be turning pucks over, whether they're breaking the puck out, exiting their defensive zone on transition, and anything especially in the offensive zone. They can't turn pucks over high in the offensive zone. They don't want to give the Ottawa Senators any freebies, odd man rushes, any kind of opportunity to generate offense that they've created for themselves. And I just think if the Winnipeg Jets can have good puck management in all 3 zones, play the game quick, get pucks in deep, and make Ottawa defend for a good portion of this hockey game, I think it's going to go a long way for their victory tonight.
Keys to the game for St. Andrews Parts and Power, where a handshake means something. For more, head to standrewspartsandpower.ca. Christian O'Mell, we don't have any score updates yet, but I think you're probably feeling a lot more enthusiastic about what you can share on the scoreboard tonight than 48 hours ago.
Well, 48 hours ago, I literally had nothing till the post-game show. So, yeah, no, this is better for sure. We have a couple games in the NHL tonight. At 8:30, you got the Devils and Avalanche. It's 2 pretty good teams. And then Vancouver at LA is a 9:30 start. In the AHL, the Manitoba Moose, they're on the road. And isn't it fitting that they're taking on the Senators as well in Belleville? So you got the AHL matchup and the NHL matchup of the 2 same systems. That one starts in about 15 minutes. Moose 5-3 in their last 8. Also in Ottawa tonight, the PWHL as the Charge hosts the New York Sirens. In the MJHL, a couple games tonight. Verdun at the Blues. Verdun fighting for the final playoff spot in the East Division. And Verdun or part of the West Division. Verdun at Portage at Niverville, as well. Niverville is probably going to end up with the last playoff spot in their division. They just have to clinch it at this point. Raptors are at the Pacers tonight in the NBA. And in the Western Hockey League, Edmonton is visiting the Wheat Kings.
Yeah, that's a big game, too, because just 1 point separates those two teams in the standings going into that one. Dwayne Gillow-Wojcik's old alma mater. You know, Coach, just before we wrap up here, we talked a little bit, too, about the missing three for the Ottawa Senators, Tkachuk, Norris, and Pinto, and the effect that could have at the face-off dot, as well as, if the Jets do wind up putting Ottawa on the power play.
Yeah, for sure. I think, first and foremost, when you see those players that Ottawa are missing, you think about the face-off. You also think a little bit of the upside of the offense that they bring to the team. Shane Pinto is an offensive mind of Josh Norris. Josh Norris has been counted on a lot of offense for this club. And then Brady Tkachuk just seems to be in everything for the Ottawa Senators. So those guys are going to be important misses for the Ottawa Senators. But I just think the power play, like those guys are, they find a way to find offense on the power play and goals for this Ottawa Senators. So it's going to be interesting to see who steps up and where they get that offensive output from.
Yeah, Brady Tkachuk, 11 of his 21 goals have come on the power play. He is third in the National Hockey League in shots with 234, second in penalty minutes with 101. That kind of spells power forward to the nth degree. And Norris, Pinto, and Tkachuk are second, third, and fourth in terms of face-offs taken by members of the Ottawa Senators this year. That is the Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools pregame show. Big thanks to the maestro, Milroy Ross Levitan, standing by with Before Puck Drop News coming up next on 680 CJOB.
You have been listening to the official Winnipeg Jets pregame show. Getting ready for Puck Drop with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton. Coming right up on 680 CJOB.
Hey, I'm Mike. And I'm Brett. At Mid-Canada Fasteners, we've always done business the way we did when we started. Our job is to do whatever we can to get you back to work.
And make your life easy as a contractor. Now we just have more selection, more inventory, and even better parking.
Come on in where everybody knows your name.
For good old-fashioned service and a selection that's second to none.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome here at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
At Boston Pizza, we think fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. So we created BP's 20-minute lunch special for just $15. Come into your nearest Boston Pizza any weekday for one of our $15 lunch specials with your choice of an entree, a side, and a drink. And we'll serve it to you in 20 minutes or less. Or the next one is on BP. Get a real lunch, real fast, for real value. Only at your local Boston Pizza. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
Winter. Some folks aren't that fond of it, but it's a different story on a Manitoba dairy farm. Winter is normal, natural, and needed. It gives the land some time to rest and lets nature focus on what's next. You see, on a Manitoba dairy farm, winter doesn't feel that cold, that snowy, or even that long, when you know everything you do is all from a good place.
You can now get your local news from 680 CJOB instantly on Amazon Alexa. Just add CJOB to your flash briefings on any Alexa device and say,
Alexa, play me the news.
It's that easy.
Global news at Puck Drop. I'm Ross Levitan. Breaking news, officials say potential human remains have been found at the Prairie Green landfill. The province says that potential human remains were found in the search zone and that Manitoba RCMP and the Office of the Chief Medical Officer are now involved. Mounties are now searching the site and are working to make any identifications. The families of Morgan Harris and Mercedes Myron have been notified of the development and attended the site today. A Winnipeg City Councillor says plans to extend Chief Peguis Trail are being put on the back burner for now. Global's Aaron Streeter has more.
A new report finds that the estimated cost of extending the east-west corridor jumped from $450 million to more than $750 million. Councillor Janice Luke says the city will need help from higher levels of government or the private sector to get the project done. However, she says council has more important things on its radar right now.
Our number one priority right now is the ability to flush our toilets, and that is all related to the upgrades to our 100-year-old sewer treatment plant. So that is the city's main focus, main priority, main efforts when it comes to lobbying levels of government and talking with levels of government.
Luke says that the Chief Peguis extension is still a priority project, especially in light of the threatened U.S. tariffs, where our east-west roads will be more important than ever. Aaron Streeter, Global News.
Now it's time for Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Club is expressly prohibited. Live from Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario, this is Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB. Now here's the voice of your Winnipeg Jets, Paul Edmonds.
I think you'll all agree it's undoubtedly a fun time to be a Winnipeg Jets fan. Perhaps it's the glory days of the franchise right now, at least in terms of regular season play. After all, the Jets have won a franchise record 10 straight games, are atop the entire league, and are pacing their own division by 9 points, all of which means they're getting closer to securing a spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs for a third straight season. Now, one of the reasons the Jets have put themselves in this situation is because they handle what's coming at them each night the same way, regardless of opponent. Which brings us to tonight in the finale of a two-game set with the banged-up Ottawa Senators, who have a handful of regulars out of the lineup, although one would expect that doesn't matter to the Jets, who are looking to turn a 10 into an 11 straight winning streak. And Mitchell Clinton, it's exactly this type of scenario the Jets have feasted on through the previous 58 games. And based on that history, one would expect they'll be hungry for another helping tonight.
That's right, Paul. I'm hungry too, but I can deal with that using press box snacks. This game kind of has a weird dynamic to it, if you ask me. You have a Jets team that's riding high, as you mentioned, and has a primary focus on bringing the same game to the ice each and every night as this streak continues. For the Senators, they come into tonight on a 4-game losing streak and have 51 goals out of their lineup with Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, and Shane Pinto injured and unavailable, among others. But Winnipeg is expecting a tough game from the Sens, who will have all the desperation of a young team trying to get back into a playoff spot. If the Jets play the right way, they'll give themselves a chance to enjoy the sweet taste of victory for the 11th straight time.
It's the Jets and the Ottawa Senators, and it's coming up next. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Whether it's Blue Bombers. Dude, I've been a professional quarterback for 8 years. If I was nervous about competition or worried about having to compete, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I would have never made it out of year one. Jets.
Josh Morrissey with a slap shot coming in to hold the line. And with 26 seconds remaining, Winnipeg has tied it at 1.
Moose, Valor FC, Gold-Eye, Seabears, Westman Bisons, Junior Hockey, Curling, High School. We have the Winnipeg sports scene covered. Live and 25 after the hour on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, now is the time to buy your Winnipeg Jets 50-50 tickets presented by Play Now. Buy your tickets online today to be included in the draw. The winner will take home half the jackpot, and all the proceeds go to support the True North Youth Foundation and help fund programming that benefits local youth right here in Manitoba. Buy your 50-50 tickets now at winnipegjets.com/5050. That's winnipegjets.com/5050.
Hey, this is Logan Stanley, and you're listening to Winnipeg Jets Hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton on 680 CJOB.
That can visualize greatness, always geared up to perform and ready to shine. You're special. You're built different. Kathy. You too, Alex.
Clinton with you as we welcome you back to Ottawa, Ontario, and this game between the Winnipeg Jets and the Ottawa Senators. And Winnipeg, as mentioned, looking for a 2-game series sweep of the Ottawa Senators. Winnipeg's done a very good job here in this building. The last 14 in Ottawa, they are 10-3-1. And they did beat Ottawa on December 28th in Winnipeg 4-2. The Jets, Mitchell, if you recall, fell behind 2-0 in that game and had to score 4 unanswered to win the contest. The Scheifele line had 5 points combined in that game to lead the attack. But my point is this. The Ottawa Senators are just right there on the playoff line. And they're trying to get into the playoffs for the first time, I believe, in 7 years. Yeah. And they're real close. And it was interesting because St. Malo, Manitoba's Travis Hamonic, who will be the 7th defenseman in play tonight because they will employ a 11 forward, 7 defenseman attack, will the Ottawa Senators, said about where they are in the standing. It's really important to be in the mix right now. You can't fabricate experience. So based on that, there will be some desperation from Ottawa tonight. But for Winnipeg, they know that's coming, and they've handled this situation with aplomb all year long.
They really have. And, I think back to that game against the Ottawa Senators, and maybe it just showed a little bit of experience from the Winnipeg Jets who, they didn't have the start that they loved, but they just kept chipping away. And they gave out the 2 power play goals to make it 2-0. And then I think you started to see a team in the Winnipeg Jets that found ways against the Sens. Yes, there was the power play goal from Gabriel Velarde, but think of, Kyle Connor's goal in that game. Find space in the slot. Nikolai Ehlers scores later in the game an assurance marker, going coast to coast, uses a little bit of change of speed, gets to the middle ice. And you think of how many times head coach Scott Arniel's talked about for the Winnipeg Jets, defend the guts of the ice. And I think sometimes you see with the Senators, you can find access to that middle ice sometimes. And it kind of plagued them a little bit over the course of their game with the Montreal Canadiens the other night. So that's an area that I'm sure head coach Travis Green is wanting to look at it and improve on. But very similar to what Hamonic said, being in the race at this time of year and having these meaningful games as we get into March and into April. I mean, Ottawa, they've been close. They want to get back in. This 4-game losing streak has kind of knocked them out of that spot. They know they want to get back to the game that had them in that playoff spot going into the break.
Interesting, because Josh Morrissey was talking about desperation in the Winnipeg Jets game, and that's desperation in the Jets game when it comes to finding a late game goal, as they have for the last 2 games. He said 6-on-5 is desperation. It's usually a culmination of a few big plays and winning battles, and they've certainly done that against St. Louis and against San Jose.
Well, you think of the St. Louis 6-on-5 goal. It's Kyle Connor on the entry, but he gets stepped up on by the St. Louis Blues, but Connor still finds a way to get that thing into the zone. And then it's Cole Perfetti on the retrieval. And then it's Gabriel Velarde getting to that middle ice like I just talked about, and Kyle Connor putting that puck right where it needed to be. 6-on-5 for the Winnipeg Jets once again against the San Jose Sharks. It's getting a puck on net, and it's finding a way to get to that puck before San Jose is able to clear it like they had throughout the majority of the game. And, you look at the 29-35 that Josh Morrissey played, still not even a career high for him in the regular season, still a couple of minutes short on that. But, I mean, they leaned on their big guns in that time, and they've shown in the last couple of games that they can be there when the team really needs them. So, yeah, would they prefer maybe a little bit easier of a game? Yes. They're not going to get it in terms of the effort that they're going to face from the Ottawa Senators. But, man, I asked Logan Stanley about it. Like, what does that kind of give you guys in terms of being able to know that at 6-on-5 or in a game like against the San Jose Sharks where you're playing well, you just can't defer from your game and you get that reward. That's the big thing. And he just kind of said, yeah, that's exactly it. Like, if we're able to stick to our game and get the results, that just, it adds more fuel to that fire that, hey, we're going to be all right if we just stick to what we do best.
Okay, the power play. It hasn't scored in 3 straight games, so that's the questions that have come up to Scott Arniel. It's not exactly like they've had 5 power plays per game, and they are 0 for 15 in the last 3 games. They are 0 for 6.
Yeah.
But in saying that, and it's sometimes interesting how coaches will phrase things. It's on quality, not necessarily the quantity of power plays you're getting. And he said, that being Scott Arniel, we just have to make sure it's dangerous every time. Dangerous doesn't necessarily mean that you're scoring a goal every time. It's creating things. It's building momentum. It's, as you mentioned, stacking some shifts together to carry on, even though you might not score with the man advantage in a particular game.
Yeah, and I've always found, in hockey, your 5-on-5 game can translate to your 5-on-4 and vice versa. And we've even seen throughout the year as well where the Winnipeg Jets have had a big penalty kill, and it's translated to their 5-on-5. So it's all about momentum. And, like you said, if you're not scoring on your one specific power play, but if you're able to get a couple of good chances, and if you're on home ice, the crowd gets into it, or when you're on the road, your bench gets into it, everybody starts to feel a little bit better. They can feel that momentum. It's just easy to go over the boards next and do your job and help maintain that momentum on the Winnipeg Jets side, because that first game against Ottawa, you went down 2-0. They started to stack some shifts together, and that's when Winnipeg is just so tough to beat.
We talked about the last time that the Jets met Ottawa in Winnipeg, and that was late December. Remember the last time that we were here, it was in January, so about a year ago, and Winnipeg scored the game-winning goal in overtime, 4:14 into overtime, and Nikolai Ehlers made that outstanding move to win the hockey game, and obviously you recall that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and then you look at the overtime game that they just played, he can be creative and use that speed going up and down the ice, but he's also got that shot-first mentality that he's worked on throughout his entire career. His willingness to shoot that puck against San Jose set up Mark Scheifele for that goal, but obviously he's also got the speed to burn, and he used it to burn the Senators earlier this year.
Oh, let's go downstairs for one anthem tonight, and a really good crowd here in Ottawa, Ontario, as these two teams meet for the final time this season. Downstairs.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Our referees for tonight's game are Furman South and Brian Pochmara. On the lines, Scott Cherry and Ryan Daisy. Let's have a look at the starting lineups, and they are brought to you by Windeck. Do it once, do it right. Visit windeck.ca to do that, because he always does it right. Here's Mitchell Clinton.
I try anyways. Linus Ullmark gets the start for the Ottawa Senators. Pulled in his last start, 5 goals and 15 shots, so he's looking for a bounce-back performance. On the blue line, Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub, and up front, David Perron, Ridley Gregg, and Drake Batherson. For the Winnipeg Jets, it's Connor Hellebuck, 12-5 in his career against the Ottawa Senators with a .920 save percentage. Josh Borcy and Dylan DeMello will be on the blue line. And up front, Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, and Gabriel Velarde. Paul.
Well, it's back-to-back games for the Winnipeg Jets, who are 4-0-1 in Game 1, and that would be here tonight. They are 1-4 in Game 2. It will be a 7 o'clock Central Time start in Nashville, Tennessee tomorrow night, and the Winnipeg Jets will have 2 more back-to-backs to deal with as their season and regular season schedule progresses, 1 in each month, so nothing too onerous. In March and in April, as we are getting toward the end of February, as Kelly Moore corrected both Gabe Velarde and I was just kind of rounding things off a little bit as we were almost into March, talking about certainly the off-summer routine of Gabriel Velarde, and it happens a little bit in this area and down about an hour and 45 minutes in his hometown of Kingston. He also mentioned a little bit of time in Los Angeles as well, where I believe his girlfriend resides full-time. So we'll see what happens tonight. Winnipeg looking for another win, another road win. The Jets lead the league in victories with 41, lead the league with 23 home wins, and are right there as well with 18 road wins. Not leading the league, but within the top three and within striking distance of that. And certainly, I think, as they do a ceremonial puck drop here tonight, the Jets will look for another road win as they've won 5 in a row. Over the course of this 10-game winning streak, they've won an equal number of games, 5 at home and 5 on the road.
There's only one right way to play, right? It's the right way. There's not a home way or a road way, as head coach Scott O'Neill likes to say, and the evidence is right there in front of them to go 5-0 and 5-0 in both locations on this win streak. And you know, I think back to Alex Iafallo. I believe, I can't remember if he was doing a first intermission walk-off or a pregame or whatever it may be, but he brought up the road record. And at the time, because Winnipeg had lost, 3 or 4 in a row on the road, he said, we got to get back to being that tough team to play against on the road. And lo and behold, here we are.
Gord Downey's brothers for a ceremonial face-off tonight. So a little reflection of the Tragically Hip, who, by the way, are from an hour and 45 minutes down the road in Kingston, Ontario. So that was great here tonight, and certainly a loss in the Canadian music scene back to 2016 with the passing of Gord Downey, the frontman for the great Canadian band of the Tragically Hip. Jets are in white, Senators are in black, Hellebuck down to our right, Allmark down to our left. Jets are flying from our broadcast right to left. Teams will come to center ice to get it started. Shifley against Ridley Gregg. And the teams will come together. Puck is dropped. And it's showtime from Ottawa, Ontario. Glad to have you along on the radio home of the Winnipeg Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB. How do you folks tuning in on satellite radio and on the NHL app across North America and worldwide? Sanderson back inside his own zone. Puck is knocked away by Velarde for Shifley out in front for Connor. And he just redirected it wide. Winnipeg came storming in. Back to where the line. DeMello can't hold it. And he'll sweep it back in. It traps a couple of mates well inside that Ottawa end. We'll get a stoppage of play 26 seconds in to the opening period here tonight. Winnipeg Jets hockey is brought to you in part by Winnipeg Clinic, Capital Ford, and the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba.
It's all off of a really good stick by Gabriel Velarde, who's just kind of following his check into the Ottawa zone. They try to go up the wall, and he knocks it out of midair, and Winnipeg goes in on the attack, very nearly setting up Kyle Connor for a one-timer. But even still, that puck still found a way to get to the net.
Sandberg will slide out towards center ice and dump it in. Allmark will stop that. He'll rim it around the boards. One of the forwards on the far side fell there. Amadio goes after it, knocks it with one hand inside that Winnipeg end. Sandberg now for Appleton, spins it in over the corner for Neil Pionk. He'll just shovel it out towards center ice. Niederreiter redirects it down inside of that Ottawa end. Senators will go back to pick it up. Play it around onto the far side. Tapped ahead, and Gaudette trying to get out of his own zone. Almost knocked off the puck by Perfetti. Hamannik to the near side. He will ride it up along the boards and off the stick of Cruikshank. And it rolls down inside the Winnipeg end. Back in the retrieve, a couple of Jets, but Ehlers gave it away. Stützle on a 9-game point scoring streak. Slides it over to the far side for Cruikshank. Put it back toward the line. It's held. D-to-D onto the near side here for Jensen. Up top of the far side, Shabbat shooting. And it's kicked away by Hellebuck. Rebound gobbled up into where the corner of the far side. Winnipeg trying to expel it out of their own zone. Nikolai Ehlers finally does as it careens off of his shin pads and out towards center ice. Flopped right back in by Ottawa, and both teams will make some changes.
Pretty good forechecking pressure from the Ottawa Senators, and that's the kind of the word that came to Scott O'Neill's mind when he thought about last game, was how fast it was.
Sent down inside of that Ottawa end. Madden Paulo will go and rim it around to the near side. Winnipeg can't hold the line. Falls back out towards center ice. Now Miller. He moved it ahead now for Gustafsson. Lost his stick. As Clevin was there, he managed to poke it down inside that Ottawa end. Madden Paulo goes after it again to the near side for Clevin. Into where the middle, and Ottawa's out of their own zone with some speed. Through that neutral ice, hustling through that neutral ice is Gregor. He tried to pass it off, got kind of stymied on that play and stood up, turned over the puck. Winnipeg rims it around to the near side again. Pulled off the wall by Gustafsson, had some problems with it. Yannick is there into toward the corner. Called up from Belleville. Back toward the line for Zub. His wrist shot blocked. Zub got it back again. Slides it far side for Sanderson. Wrist shot toward the net. That went wide. Came off the back wall. Scooped up again by Winnipeg. Hard hit there by Batherson on Miller. Couldn't get it out. Puck from the point gets floated toward the net. Wide of the glove of Hellebuck. Centered back out in front. And a good chance there coming toward the net by David Perron. And then we're going to get a stoppage here. And there's going to be a fight. Zub and Stanley to the near side. And the fans, I don't think are booing. They're chanting Zub. And they get tied up, seatbelted. Nobody threw a punch. The linesman moved in to break that up. And that came off a hit just by the left circle inside the Winnipeg Jets end.
That'll be interesting to see how this one gets called. Of course, they're taking both Stanley and Zub, but you wonder if there's the initial call that led to Mark Scheifele being sent through the air. Although I guess by the amount of conversations Scheifele's having with the official that it's just going to be the matching minors or majors on each side. But it does look like the officials are going to talk about this a little bit.
It's a bit of an elbow, too, on Miller. And then Zub coming in and kind of almost going knee on Scheifele, right?
Yeah. It's either knee on knee or hip into leg. It looked scary. It's good for Mark Scheifele.
Winnipeg, number 64, 4 minutes for roughing. Ottawa, number 2, 2 minutes for roughing.
Boy, that would be... I guess they're going to say that the play on Scheifele was more of a hip check, but we've seen Neil Pionk deliver some textbook hip checks, and that didn't look like one of them at all from Artem Zub. So for Winnipeg, the main thing is that Mark Scheifele's all right, but an early penalty kill here for Winnipeg after... I'm guessing they're giving Stanley the extra 2 just because he was the one that went after Zub to start things, but they never really threw much for punches. They kind of just locked up.
I think it was the intent. And that's what Scott Arneal is arguing here.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't punch. You're going to call an extra 2-minute minor on intent? That nothing ever developed. So the Jets will be shorthanded. These penalties at 2:57 of this opening period, no score. We do it to the left of Hellebuck. Giroux will take the draw against Lowry. And Giroux will win it back toward the line for Stützle. Right side point. He'll put it up top now for Sanderson. To the near side again for Stützle. Walks down along the boards and played it down low. Back up top for Sanderson. On the far side, slap shot just fired wide. On the far side, that came off the stick of Giroux. And redirects off that back wall and all the way back down inside that Ottawa end. Jake Sanderson will carry through that neutral ice. Carved his way inside that Winnipeg end. Got it into where the corner. They try to set it up. It's Stützle on the far side. 3 Jets are in on him, including DeMello, trying to flush it off the boards. Batherson is there. His kick from a skate to a stick by Ridley Gregg. Sent back toward the line. To the near side, Giroux. He'll drop it for Stützle. Spins off the boards. Goes right wide on the far side. Back door for Gregg. And on the near side, he was stopped with the left pad and maybe a stick of Hellebuck. Came back toward the line again. Wrist shot toward the net. That went wide. Grabbed into where the corner. Centered out in front. Ricocheted off a skate blade again. Grabbed again by Ridley Gregg. He'll push it to the near side for Stützle. Stützle down low for Gregg. Gregg moves his feet. He'll exchange with Stützle. It's sent back down low again for Stützle. For Gregg to the near side for Batherson. Back for Stützle behind the net. Curls into where the corner. Tim Stützle. Stützle comes out. Passed it back into where the corner. The give and go from Gregg from Stützle. And that goes off a stick and just wide. They couldn't really fashion it to their stick and get a good shot away to the Ottawa Senators. Winnipeg buzzing around here trying to get the puck and get possession of it to get it out. It stays inside the zone. Rolled around to the near side. Gregg back to where the line. Giroux into where the slot. Stützle didn't shoot the puck. Passed it into where the corner. Again for Giroux. Up top now for Sanderson. Slung to where the net. Blocked in front by Sandberg. Flushed off the boards again. Sent back to where the line. Sent over to the far side. Controlled by the Senators. They play it back down low. Centered out in front. Broken up by Sandberg. Puck goes right to DeMello. He'll find a seam and dump at the distance.
Nice little assist to Connor Hellebuck there as he also threw his stick down to prevent that cross crease pass, and it kind of went off of DeMello or off of Sandberg, changed direction a little bit, then Hellebuck's stick and kicked back out, and Winnipeg was able to clear.
Penalty is now over, so Winnipeg will get the puck down inside that Ottawa end. Perfetti was serving the extra 2 to Stanley. And the puck just kind of trickles down into Linus Ullmark, and he'll cover up and hang on. 14:45 remaining in the opening period. No score in the hockey game, so 0 for 1 with the man advantage are the Ottawa Senators. Winnipeg is back to full strength, and we're going to face off inside the Ottawa end.
And the discussions kind of continue between Scheifele and the official. Scott O'Neill also had another chat as well, kind of right after that whistle with Brian Puckmara, just trying to get on the same page. But a great penalty kill by Winnipeg in a shorthanded situation that they definitely wouldn't have liked.
A couple of big saves by Hellebuck, including that one on Ridley Gregg back door. Face off to the left of Ullmark. And Ottawa will win it. Zub up along the board, stopped by Scheifele, tried to get it into where the slot, pop back to where the line. Morrissey takes a slash, tries to hold the line, and does. He'll spin it around into where the corner. Winnipeg will pull it off the wall. Velarde, he's stick lifted there. Picked up by Highmore, rimmed around to the far side, pulled off the wall now by Sanderson, and his attempt to get it out goes off the stick of one of the Jets and into the Senators bench, and out of play it goes.
Nice to see the Scheifele line come out again and start putting some pressure right back on the Ottawa Senators. You get the penalty kill for the Winnipeg Jets, and then it's about trying to get everybody back into it at 5-on-5, and you get the Scheifele line out there. They start going to work on the forecheck, and very nearly had Kyle Connor in the slot had they won the puck battle along the wall. But still a good defensive time in the offensive zone if you're Winnipeg coming out of that PK.
Face off to the left of Ullmark. Ottawa wins the draw, and Shabbat will alley-oop it from his own goal line out towards center ice. Finds the stick there of Giroux, and he swats it inside that Winnipeg end. Bianco's after it, rims it around on the far side. Perfetti trying to pull it off the wall. He is harassed there, but got a backhand out towards center ice. It finds the stick into Mesnikov. Prick wide to the near side. Following up now is Sandberg, and he'll shoot it right on top of Ullmark, and he'll make the save and leave that at the side of his net. Ottawa will redirect it onto the far side, and here comes Jensen out of his own zone. He got by one of the Jets checkers trying to step up and take that pass away. Nick Jensen will dump it down inside that Winnipeg end. Scooped up off the back wall by Perfetti. Moved ahead now for Nikolai Ehlers. Striding through that neutral ice. He'll backhand it into where the corner go after it. Shabbat, the first one there, takes a body check. Rolled it around to the far side now for Amadio. Amadio scoots out towards center ice. Lost the puck. Stepping up now, Morrissey leading the attack. On a line change, moving and shooting. And with a slap shot, he just put it wide. Winnipeg on the far side. Appleton took a hard body check, trying to hold the line. Now we're going to get a fight here. And it's Adam Lowry absolutely throwing punches at Tyler Clevin. Big right hands. And Clevin comes back, and he missed with a left. And he goes down, and Lowry took care of that rather quickly.
And that's Adam Lowry not liking the hit on Mason Appleton. Appleton was letting the puck go along the wall. And then after the puck was gone, Clevin followed through and threw a big hit on Appleton. Of course, Lowry's not going to like that.
5 each for fighting. Lowry landed some really good right hands on Tyler Clevin. And Clevin came back with a haymaker right, missed, and went down, and the fight ended on that. Timeout on the ice. We'll do the same on your radio. Lots of action, no goals. 13-19 remaining in the opening period, awaiting for the first goal of the hockey game from the nation's capital. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
News and information is more important now than ever. CJOB is working for you, getting the answers your family needs and bringing you into the conversation. 680 CJOB, Winnipeg's news, today's talk.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
If it sounds too good to be true, well, you know the rest. But I get it. Some deals sound tempting, like this guy.
These prices are insane. The boss has lost his mind.
When it comes to your home's heating system, do you really want to do business with a company that resorts to gimmicks like this? You could call them and see what they are really offering, and then give Mr. Furnace a call. In fact, they encourage you to call around and get quotes first, and then call Mr. Furnace. You'll see why. Give it a try. Call 204-832-6243.
Brad at St. Andrews Parts and Power is pretty easygoing until it comes to to-do lists.
Brad hates them with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 burning suns. That's why he'll turn your to-do list into an is-done list with a new Coyote tractor. Get 3 great Coyote incentives on select Coyote subcompact tractors, $1,000 cash back, a free loader, and monthly payments of $345 with 2.99% financing for 72 months OAC. For details, see St. Andrews Parts and Power, where you'll say, "That guy helped me." And I can help you too at St. Andrews Parts and Power.
You are locked and loaded to Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Back underway, 5 minutes each for fighting to Tyler Clevin and Adam Lowry, so 5 apiece for a skating situation. Back across the line, shot is snapped toward the net by Ottawa, and on that entry, that just went wide off a stick, off of Noah Gregor. Gregor back toward the line, slap shot by Hamonic, stopped by Hellebuck, and then more pushing and shoving in front of the Jets net. Jan Unique and Dylan DeMello, the former Ottawa Senator, doing a little bit of jousting. No scores. We welcome you back. 12:51 remaining in the opening period.
Yeah, Jan Unique, one of the players called up by the Ottawa Senators today, in addition to Angus Crookshank. Unique, 195 American Hockey League games, 133 points. So, you know, just another guy that's getting another opportunity here at the NHL level. He's got 23 NHL games under his belt coming into tonight. That one just... It's 2 players coming out from the near side wall, going to the front of the net, and Highmore and Unique and DeMello and Gustafson on the defensive side of things. And they were pushing and shoving for a good 10 seconds throughout the shift before the whistle actually went.
Face off to the left of Hellebuck. Nemestikov will take the draw against Stützle. And Stützle wins it cleanly back to the line for Nick Jensen. Walks the line, winds up, slap shot, deflected in front, stick save made by Hellebuck, and waltzed away nicely by Pion. And he will plunger it out towards center ice. Winnipeg will fight for the puck there. Stops and starts Perfetti. Slides it back inside his own zone. Pion trying to rim it around back in behind the net. Good stick lift there by Sandberg to come away with the puck. Up along the wing now for Nemestikov. He slides out towards center ice. Gets a return pass. He had some separation, moves in. He tried to pass it over the far side. He had an open lane toward the net. Tried to pass it off, was broken up. Stützle will give it away inside his own zone. Centered out in front. They score! Stützle gave it away to Ehlers, who on the near side at the blue line found Perfetti back door. He redirects it past Omark, and it's 1-0 Winnipeg.
Just really good awareness there from Cole Perfetti and Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers in that support position. Nemestikov's the one putting pressure on Stützle, and Stützle just spins around and sends a backhand off the near side boards, and Nikolai Ehlers is the only one in the vicinity. And just as quickly as that puck gets turned over, Cole Perfetti opens up in front of the net to give Ehlers something to shoot at. It makes just a perfect deflection on the glove side of Ullmark to give the Jets a 1-0 lead. Great start for Winnipeg. You have the penalty kill, you have teammates standing up for each other, and then you get the game's opening goal.
Perfetti's 12th of the year from Nikolai Ehlers at 7:46, and that line continues to produce of Nemestikov, Ehlers, and Perfetti. Off the ensuing face-off and sit down inside that that Ottawa end. Winnipeg will push in on the forecheck. It's rimmed around to the near side. Ottawa's looking like they're going to escape their own zone, and they do. Out towards center ice in Batherson. He will backhand it down inside that Winnipeg end. Perron will barge after it. He bumps with DeMello. Winnipeg turned it over. High slot moving in, and a shot coming in. Ridley Gregg, and he just put it wide. Maybe on the short side off the blocker of Hellebuck. Winnipeg needs to protect the puck. Turnover inside their own zone led to that. Jets will get out towards center ice and flush it down inside that Ottawa end. Changing on the fly for both teams. Skipping inside that Winnipeg end, Matthew Highmore. Winds up, slap shot. Glove down by Hellebuck. He'll leave it to the side of his net. Swatted away into where the corner here by Stanley. For his deep partner on the far side, Miller. Had some problems with it. He's double teamed. Rimmed it around to the far side. Shifley couldn't get it out. Adam Gaudette will pick it up. Back toward the line. Hamonic moving in, shooting. And it's kicked away again by Hellebuck. Now it's tipped off the boards. 2-on-1 back the other way for Winnipeg. Here's Niederreiter. Moves in, takes the pass. And he backhands it toward the net. They score! Linus Ullmark stopped Niederreiter, but the puck trickled by him, and there, going hard toward the net after making the pass to Nino Niederreiter was Appleton. He will hammer it home with a backhand, and it's 2-0 Winnipeg.
Big saves at one end and a goal at the other. Connor Hellebuck comes up with a couple of big stops, perhaps none bigger than the one on Ridley Gregg coming right down Main Street. A great stop And then Winnipeg, after a couple failed clears, finally get the opportunity to send two players back the other way in Niederreiter and Appleton. And it's primarily just because Ottawa kind of just gets caught on that offensive side of things. They don't see the play developing. And it was a really nice play by Niederreiter to get a backhand on net. He wanted, I think, to cut to his forehand side, but he didn't have space because of the pursuit on the other side from the other Ottawa defenseman. And Appleton, as you should, goes right to the net.
And Appleton just kind of jams away at it. And we'll pick up a goal from Mason Appleton. That is goal number 8 on the year. Niederreiter should get an assist. And the Jets have 2 goals rather quickly here. 7:46 and 9:03. 10:51.
Just pouncing on mistakes, right, by the Ottawa Senators. They start looking a little bit offense or don't take care of the puck. And Winnipeg's offensively going to take advantage.
Back toward the line. Ottawa shot from the point. Went off a stick and wide. Fetched there by Cruikshank into where the corner of the far side. Spinning away from a check. Trying to get back toward the line. Amadio. Nobody was home as he slides the puck back toward the line and falling back way deep inside their own zone as Ottawa to retrieve the puck. Thomas Chabot back inside his own zone. Jets will make some changes. 10:20 remaining in this opening period. 2-0 for the Jets. Trying to slide in to shoot the puck toward the net with Stützle. That was broken up. Grabbed again by Giroux. Giroux on the far side, controlling the puck. Giroux up top now here for Chabot. Walking the line, moves in, shoots, deflected in front by Cruikshank. Never got through to Hellebuck. It stopped there in Winnipeg into where the corner. It's chipped up along the boards by Pionk. There to help out now is Nikolai Ehlers. Couple of strides out toward his own blue line. He'll drop it for Pionk, who curls back in behind his own net and seeks the shelter behind his own goal, and both teams will make some changes.
Niederreiter and Scheifele picking up the assists on the Appleton goal.
Far side, long lead pass. Nemestikov slides inside the zone, trying to get back into where the slot for Perfetti. That was broken up on the back track by Highmore. Onto the far side for Matteo. He sprints inside the zone, dropped his shoulder, never got a shot away. Back in behind the net, Cadet with a wraparound, and that stopped to the side of the goal. Rebound is seized by the Jets and played back in behind the net. Ehlers for DeMello, into where the middle now for his deep partner in Morrissey, out towards center ice, and he'll softly set it down inside that Ottawa end. Winnipeg will make a wholesale line change. Perron on the far side, pass to himself, got towards center ice and chips it in. Puck will fall back in behind that Winnipeg net. First one on it, Stanley, to his deep partner Miller, up along the wing for Scheifele. Rink wide to the near side at center ice with some speed. Velarde across the line, puts on the brakes, put it back toward the line for Stanley. He slides it back in behind the net, and then it's centered by Scheifele out into where the slot. Bouncing puck, Kyle Connor will get it to settle down. Far side, DeMello shooting, and that's kicked away by Allmark. Grabbed again here by Perron, dumped all the way down. Should be icing. No, they're going to wave it off. So an opportunity for both teams to make some further changes.
Ottawa's had their opportunity, most of it coming off of pressuring the puck with their forecheck and forcing Winnipeg into turnovers. But when Winnipeg's able to exit the zone cleanly, man, they've been able to generate up ice and quickly, and it's some really great chances.
Winnipeg controlling back in behind their own net. Sandberg will just alley-oop it out towards center ice. He hit the scoreboard. And it drops down and deadens there, and we'll get a stoppage of play and take a timeout on the ice and do the same on your radio. And Adam Lowry over to the penalty box. I think he forgot something. Oh, he forgot his helmet. Or no, he's going back in. I think he needed some repairs on his hand after that fight with Tyler Clevin. 8:15 remaining in this opening period. The score, Winnipeg 2, Ottawa nothing. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets Hockey on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
You know what goes well with pizza from Santa Lucia Pizza. They've been the leaders in quality since 1971, and now they just keep winning award after award after award. So, sounds like they know a thing or two about making tasty pizza. How about this? When you're getting ready on game day, choose one of Santa Lucia Pizza's many specials or combos, and find out why time and time again it's listed as Manitoba's favorite pizza.
Santa Lucia Pizza. It's all about the sauce.
Hey everyone, Adney and Burke here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're a do-it-yourselfer, and we're here to help. Hi, I'm Mel Duick from Windeck. We're known for building beautiful top-of-the-line, low-maintenance decks. But many people don't know Windeck also supplies products for the do-it-yourselfer. And I guarantee they are the finest, safest, most proven products on the market. Like Wolf PVC decking, Inlight lighting, and Star aluminum railings. So if you have a deck project that you'd like to tackle yourself, use the products the pros use from Windeck. And do it once, do it right.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
Winnipeg Jets Hockey is brought to you in part by South Beach Casino, Boston Pizza, and Chamber Insurance. 2-0 Winnipeg. They score a minute and 17 seconds apart. Shot from the point off a face-off win by Travis Hamonic. Stopped again by Hellebuck. And, I mean, unofficially, Hamonuk's put 3 shots, maybe more, maybe 4, on net already.
Yeah, you can tell Ottawa's just trying to get pucks into that area. Now, Hellebuck's rebound control has been really good about, whether he's catching it like he did on that last one or just steering it into the corners. And that kind of quells any of the chaos that Ottawa's trying to create.
Lowry waved. Niederreiter lost the draw. Hamonuk, another shot. Stick save made by Hellebuck. He's got them through as the St. Malo Manitoba product. Winnipeg can't clear. Goes into the high slot. And sprinting after the puck, Amadio tried to slide it toward the net. That went off a skate. Grabbed by Highmore. Highmore back toward the line for Travis Hamonic. And did he hold the line? Yes, he did. He spins it around under some pressure. Got that into the corner for Highmore. Highmore had his stick lifted there by Appleton, but got it back again out in front, and his shot slung toward the net by Gaudette. This line is buzzing around here for Ottawa. Winnipeg can't fetch the puck. Far side now, Sanderson stops up at the point, rolls to the near side for Hamonic, wristed toward the net, deflected in front by Gaudette. He just put it wide of the short side. Gathered up again. Gregor back toward the line, shot off a stick, goes wide. Winnipeg running around, they're in some trouble here. Into where the corner of Amadio gets stapled to the boards there by Lowry. Pushed off the puck back to the line. Hamonic winds up, slap shot. Fired it wide. Rebound. Grabbed again. Back to the right side point for Travis Hamonic. His shot with purpose went wide. Trying to get it to Unique. It's sent over to the far side. Jamming at it, Appleton. And he'll spin it out towards center ice. And Winnipeg desperately to the bench for reinforcements. Back to the near side. Yank Unique will one-hand it inside the Winnipeg end. DeMello goes after it. In to help out Perfetti. It's grabbed by Unique. One-hands it again back in behind the net. Morrissey is there. Slides it up along the wing. And Nikolai Ehlers will float it safely out towards center ice. Nick Jansen off the boards towards center on the far side for Cruikshank. He wins the battle. Came back inside his own zone. Played it to Nick Jensen to the near side up along the boards. Off the stick of Morrissey and Unique. And into the penalty box area. And out of play it goes. 6:27 remaining in this opening period. 2-0 Winnipeg.
Well, doesn't that just show you the importance of taking care of the puck? Especially, in your own zone, tops of the circles to the blue line. Winnipeg just turns the puck over there. And it turns into another 40 seconds of defending in their own zone just because they weren't able to get that puck out and force Ottawa to reset. And, when Ottawa's got the puck on their stick, regardless of who's out of their lineup, they've all looked dangerous, and they seem to have that shooting mentality as Hamonic does.
Puck is in all the way down the ice. Artem Zub had some problems with it. Ridley Gregg, the former Brandon Wheat King, comes in to help out, but it's chipped off his stick by Connor. Back with the line for Miller shoots. Stopped in front. Rebound sitting there. Waltzed away now by Batherson. And backhanded safely out towards center ice. Snatched by Shifley. Pulled it down to his stick. Wristed inside the zone. It hit the linesman, and he felt that. And he is gingerly kind of making his way along the boards there to try to shake that stinger off. Sent down inside the Winnipeg end. Batherson after it. Fight for the puck. It squirms loose. Winnipeg can't get it out, though. Goes to the near side. Stick lift by Miller there on Perron. Rimmed it around to the far side. Stanley can't gather it up. Goes into where the slot. Bouncing puck settled down by Connor. Back for Stanley in front of his own net. And he'll lift it safely and pop it over the head of everybody and down inside the Ottawa end. Velarde, the first one to the puck, takes a body check there from Hamonic. Got it back in behind the net, though, but now here comes Ottawa with some numbers at center ice. They will dump it in. Batherson goes after it, put it back in behind the net. Picked up by Giroux. Rolls off the boards, trying to backhand wrap around. And that just went through the crease and wide. Now Stoops back to the line. Hamonic moving in, shooting! And it's stopped by Hellebuck. He came way out of the crease to stop Travis Hamonic for about the 6th time tonight. Back out towards center ice. Here comes Chabot moving in, shoots! And it's stopped by Hellebuck again. And he will hang on for a stoppage. Winnipeg hanging on right now thanks to their goaltender. 4:54 remaining in the opening period. The push is on for Ottawa, who trail 2-0. Jets 2, Ottawa nothing. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97, 680 CJOB.
You can now get your local news from 680 CJOB instantly on Amazon Alexa. Just add CJOB to your flash briefings on any Alexa device and say,
Alexa, play me the news.
It's that easy.
At Boston Pizza, we think fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. So we created BP's 20-minute lunch special for just $15. Come into your nearest Boston Pizza any weekday for one of our $15 lunch specials with your choice of an entree, a side, and a drink. And we'll serve it to you in 20 minutes or less. Or the next one is on BP. Get a real lunch, real fast, for real value. Only at your local Boston Pizza. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Replacing your electronics? Don't throw away your old ones. Recycle them at the 4R Winnipeg depots. Electronics such as TVs, computers, tablets, phones and cell phones, audio and video players, and microwaves are all accepted for free. The 4R Winnipeg depots are located at 1825 Brady Road, 1120 Pacific Avenue, and 429 Panet Road. For more information, visit winnipeg.ca/4R depot or contact 311.
Hey, this is Mark Scheifele. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton are bringing it Winnipeg Jets hockey style on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, the playoffs are just around the corner. Don't miss your chance to be part of the electric atmosphere at Canada Life Center. Experience the legendary Winnipeg Whiteout live by visiting winnipegjets.com/deposit. Jets lead at 2-0 here tonight on goals by Perfetti and Appleton. And they get the puck out of their own zone. Now it's a foot race down inside that Ottawa end. Gustafson's going to win it. Gustafson trying to get it out in front. Broken up by Chabot. Puck goes into where the corner. David Gustafson after it there. Trying to wrestle the puck away against two Senators, including Batherson. In to help out is Rasmus Kapari. Digs it out of some skates but lost the puck. It's moved ahead now and Ottawa's out towards center ice. Here's Giroux down across that Winnipeg line. Tried to get it over to the far side. Batherson will stay on him as the puck ticked off a stick. Batherson then got into a battle with Kapari. Kapari will force it out towards center ice. Winnipeg will make some changes. Controlled now by Jensen. Off the boards to the near side for Chabot. Softly backhanded inside the Winnipeg end. Nabbed there by DeMello. Rimmed around for Sandberg out towards center ice. Sliding through that neutral ice with some speed. Lowry crossed over the line. High slot. Appleton shooting. And it's kicked away by Linus Ullmark. Rebound gobbled up there by Ottawa. Sent toward the line. Kept alive by Sandberg. Into where the corner. Beetling to it. Niederreiter at the side of the slot for Lowry. Didn't shoot. Lowry rims it around. It falls toward the point. Kept in by Pionk to the far side. And a quick shot as the puck was nudged ahead to Niederreiter by Nino from the top of the circle. Glove down easily by Ullmark, and he'll hang on for whistle. 3:37 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 Jets.
And you'd love to see Winnipeg, as the coaching staff would say, start to stack some of those types of shifts that the Lowry line just had. Get that puck in, work along the wall, win those battles, kind of switch sides of the ice, go left to right, kind of move the Ottawa Senators around defensively, make them defend. The 5-on-5 shot attempts coming out of that second TV timeout, 21-7 in favor of Ottawa.
Sent from the draw. They send it around to the near side. Batherson encroached on by Morrissey. Can't get it out. Sanderson over on this far side. Trying to get the puck into where the middle one does. And now for Perron. Gently off the boards. It falls down inside that Winnipeg end. Scooting back in behind his own net to shake off a check Morrissey. Far side to Mello. Up along the wing now for Shifley. Shifley will deposit the puck down inside that Ottawa end. 3:10 remaining in the opening period. Jets lead at 2-0. They scored a minute and 17 seconds apart with their 2 goals. Ottawa will be guilty of an icing call, and we'll get a stoppage here and a face-off all the way back down inside that Senators end.
Nolan Baumgartner, one of the assistant coaches of the Ottawa Senators, of course, a name very familiar to Winnipeg, and the Manitoba Moose was there as a player, obviously, for a number of years, a captain, and also assistant coach the last couple of years, and got his first coaching gig from none other than Scott Arniel with the Chicago Wolves back in the early 2010s, and asked Scott Arniel this morning if he saw the coach in Nolan Baumgartner at that point when you had him as a player, and he said absolutely, just had that analytical mind, and he likes to say he gave him his shot as a coach.
Back toward the line, slap shot by Stanley, stopped by Allmark, and then some more pushing and shoving off the face-off this time. Full Perfetti involved, and Nolan was an excellent captain for the Manitoba Moose, and still some pushing and shoving that's carried over toward the blue line. I'll never forget, he was the captain of the Moose when Canada Life Center opened, and he was asked about the new building, and he went on to say, hey, this is great for the fans, this is great for the players, this is great for the city, but I want to thank everybody that had a hand in pouring concrete, doing electrical. He thanked all the tradespeople that were involved in building that rink, and that was, for me, a little bit more of the expansive leadership that you saw in Nolan Baumgartner. Thinking kind of outside the box, the importance of people that constructed that new facility that was so important to hockey at that time in our community, and certainly, I think, was the drawbridge to help get the NHL back in southern Manitoba. Icing will be the call against Ottawa.
Yeah, it's a small detail, but a big detail. You know what I mean? When you think of having the wherewithal to thank those types of people, because that is not an easy job whatsoever, especially on the scale that it is of putting together an arena like that that's just continued to stand the test of time with all the investments that's been put into it as well ever since.
Face off to the left of Linus Allmark. Shifley will take the draw, but he lost it. Shabbat will flip it out towards center ice. Giroux will try to trap that. It's taken off the stick. Sandberg to the near side for Connor. Cross the line. Velarde scoots down into where the corner. Velarde stops up back toward the line beyond. Wristed toward the net. And it's stopped with the glove of Allmark, and he'll hang on. 2:26 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 Winnipeg. Jet fans now available is exclusive official Winnipeg Jets Black History Month apparel by Zawike. Choose from a variety of styles available at any of our Jets gear booths located throughout the concourse and online at TrueNorthShop.com. That's Jets Black History Month apparel. Jets gear, the official team store of the Winnipeg Jets. We went to the left of Allmark. Sanderson had some problems with the puck. Tapped by his net by his goaltender, Allmark, and then snapped out towards center ice. Neil Pionk takes a body check there from Perron. Puck is sent inside that Winnipeg end. First one after it is Drake Batherson. He is just crunched along the boards by Sandberg. It goes back in behind the net. Some separation between Bathurst and Sandberg. Shifley coming there to help out. Tries to reverse. Ridley Gray got a bit of a hold in on him. No call. Only one power play so far in this hockey game. That went to the Ottawa Senators. In a double minor for roughing to Stanley. Big scrum into where the corner for the puck. Ridley Gray fell on top of it. Finally, it's swept up along the boards and back toward the line. Held by Manio. Over to the far side. Controlled by Sanderson. Near side for Zub. Off the stick. Paddled off the boards by Shifley. Moved ahead. And Velarde had a breakaway. Couldn't handle the pass. On a pass from Connor at center. And Velarde will be looking to the heavens on that one. It went off the toe of the stick blade. And had he fashioned that back in and corralled it, he was off on a breakaway from the Ottawa Senators blue line in. Instead, we'll get a stoppage of play.
There's a big group of Jets fans that are at this game, and about 20, like he said in the one-on-one, that would have loved to have seen him have that breakaway chance, and no doubt he knows that he kind of hanging his head a little bit, knowing the opportunity that he had there.
Face off into where that left wing corner. Sent around. Matt and Paulo will rim it around. Held at the line by Morrissey. He put it down low for Appleton. For Morrissey. Back toward the line for DeMello. Penalty coming up to Ottawa. Now holding the line. Niederreiter shoots off the shoulder of Allmark. And then the rebound touched by Highmore. And we'll get a stoppage of play. 1:09 remaining in this first period. 2-0 Winnipeg. And the Jets will have a power play for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Adam Lowry just locked in a battle in front of that net, trying to be that net front presence. And he took a high stick. You could see him kind of grab at his face while play was going on. That's usually your indicator something got up there. The official all over it as Matt and Paolo heads off. And Winnipeg's power play that we talked about in the pregame will have 1:09 to work with in this first period.
So Nicholas, Matt, and Paulo, a finished product off to the box for high sticking. Winnipeg looking to end a power play skid here that they haven't scored in 3 games. Slap shot for the point by Morrissey, just missed. Sent back toward the line. Morrissey to the near side of the hash marks for Shifley down low out in front. Jammed at it in that pop position by Ehlers, but it was blocked and grabbed by Giroux and backhanded all the way down the ice. 50 seconds, 5-0 remaining in this opening period. Morrissey back inside his own zone. A big long drop now for Kyle Connor. He will knife his way between the blue lines, pass it to the far side, Velarde. He will sprint down along the boards, put on the brakes, put it back toward the line. Left side point, Ehlers. Walks down into where the corner, hands it off for Shifley down low. Velarde back for Shifley. Back out in front for Ehlers, and it was off a stick. Ehlers will gather it up, back for Shifley near side. Dusts it off, up top. Morrissey, far side for Connor. Rolls off the boards for Shifley. Rink wide to the near side. Shifley, top of the circle, down low. Velarde, backhand with that drop step move. And it's stopped by Allmark. And the rebound is grabbed and ripped all the way down the ice. And that might just do it for 20 minutes here of hockey in the nation's capital. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. 20 minutes now in the books in Ottawa, Ontario tonight.
Well, we saw 1:09 of the Jets power play there, and I really like what I saw. I mean, it was a point shot by Josh Morrissey, and then it was a quick high-to-low play to try to get the puck to Gabriel Velarde, who had it a couple of times on that sequence. You could see the attack mode that unit is in, trying to move that puck as quickly as possible and get to the set plays and the set looks that they like. Overall, I think Winnipeg would like to defend maybe a little bit better in their own zone. Ottawa certainly had some zone time, but as we got later on in that period, Winnipeg kind of started to flex a little bit. But the Jets certainly were opportunistic and took advantage of the opportunities that they had in that opening period.
And Winnipeg scores 2 goals in 1 minute and 17 seconds. They had some chances to add on, and Ottawa certainly had some chances to get right back in it as well. As we have a look at the stat summary through 20 minutes. Cole Perfetti opens up the scoring. A giveaway by Tim Stützle inside his own zone. Right to Nikolai Ehlers, who finds Perfetti back door, and just a redirect for Cole for his 12th of the year. Ehlers the lone assist at 7:46. And Winnipeg opened up the scoring. It was 1-0. Let's go downstairs to Mason Appleton, who ended up scoring the second goal. And maybe we'll just kind of start there as we go through the summary. Thanks a lot for taking the time, Mason. And maybe just describe your 8th of the year and how it happened with a great chip by Mark Shifley out of your own zone, and then a 2-on-1 with you and Nino down the ice.
Are you talking? I can't really hear you at all.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about your goal. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, take us through the goal. Your 8th of the year and how you exit your own zone and start the 2-on-1 through that neutral ice.
Yeah. I saw Nino kind of bursting through with speed, so I tried to lay a puck out to him, and it connected, and then obviously he drove the net and got a good backhand shot off, and I just saw the puck laying there. I think the goalie might have thought he had it covered, and just kind of got to the cage and tapped her in.
And Mason, you guys always talking about standing up for each other, but a couple of situations in that opening period. One from your captain standing up for you, and one from Logan Stanley for Mark Shifley. That's kind of a nice way to start a road game, just to get everybody kind of into it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of our mentality, sticking up for one another. Lousy obviously has always got my back, and then when Shif got hit like that, Stan was right there to jump in and put an end to that. So just kind of our mindset, and then kind of gets all into the game too.
You have an analytical mind. What'd you think of that first period?
Some good, some very average. I thought they were heavier than us with their sticks, and we didn't win enough battles, but we cleaned those things up. We're going to get a ton more chances here.
Okay, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck in the second and third.
All right, thanks, guys.
Mason Appleton from downstairs. So, as mentioned, Perfetti is 12th from Ehlers, and that's the lone assist at 7:46. And then Appleton, his 8th, going to the net from Niederreiter and Scheifele at 9:03. And that was a great play by Scheifele to start. That chip out of his own zone. And then it was just a race through the neutral ice in that 2-on-1 with Appleton to Niederreiter. Niederreiter with the backhand shot that kind of flusters, I guess, Linus Ullmark. He made the initial save, didn't quite know where the rebound was. And you're always taught to follow up a shot, go to the net drive. Appleton does that and then pokes it home for his 8th at 9:03, and Winnipeg scores 2 goals in a minute and 17 seconds. 2-0 Winnipeg. At that point, that's where we stand at the end of one period of play. Power play opportunities. Ottawa is 0 for 1 with the man advantage. The Jets are still on their first. They'll have 51 seconds to carry over into the second period on that penalty to Nicholas Matanpalo for high sticking. And the Jets do outshoot the Senators in that first period, 13-12. But there was a lot of shots that maybe missed the net for Ottawa as well. And St. Malo, Manitoba's Travis Hamonic was a one-man shooting gallery from the right side point in that first period. And that's part of, I think, what Mason Appleton is saying, that they need to clean up, not give those point-blank shots away from the point, or at least win the puck battles inside their own zone. First intermission report is coming up next with Kelly Moore and Dwayne Gilavoychuk. The score after 1 from Ottawa. The Winnipeg Jets 2, the Ottawa Senators no score. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB. Slap shot, score!
Jets fans, get ready for the last Saturday game of the regular season on March 1st when your Winnipeg Jets take on the Philadelphia Flyers. It's your only chance to see the Flyers in Winnipeg this season, and tickets are selling fast. Get your tickets to this exciting Saturday night matchup by visiting winnipegjets.com/tickets. Jets, Flyers at winnipegjets.com/tickets.
Hi, I'm Mike. And I'm Brett. At Mid-Canada Fasteners, we have more than just Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, and Bosch power tools.
We also have a great selection of hand tools such as Wera, Klein, Nimpix, Tajima, Malco, Crescent, Wiss, Alpha, and more. We are also one of the largest suppliers of rigid plumbing tools and accessories.
Come check us out. Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome here at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
We all know the daily commute. Mine's about a minute walk to the barn, but it goes on for generations. My parents and grandparents did the same walk, and when you're having a bad day, there's nothing better than following a path that's really there for you. I'm just wearing it in more, so it's there for my kids too. And as a Manitoba dairy farmer, I know everything we do is all from a good place, even the commute.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey.
A 2-0 Winnipeg Jets lead after 20 minutes of play. They scored their 2 goals in their first 4 shots. It was a different kind of period. Going into the final media timeout, the shot attempts were 26-7 for Ottawa. In the final 4.5 minutes or so, coming out of that final timeout, Winnipeg had all 9 shot attempts. So it wound up 26-16 for the period. And I really, when you think Winnipeg only 7 shot attempts and they were able to score on a couple of them, they would have to feel pretty good about that. Hey, Jets fans, it's time to buy your 50/50 tickets presented by Play Now in support of the True North Youth Foundation. Buy your tickets right now. All you have to do is text JETS to 20450. And I think the shot attempts belied, or the 2-0 score, rather, Dwayne Gilavoychuk, was a complete fabrication of how the first, 16 minutes or so of that first period was played.
Yeah, I think the tail of the tape is Winnipeg capitalized on their opportunities they had, and Ottawa just couldn't find a goal. There was a long stretch where Ottawa had Winnipeg hemmed in their end, and there was shots coming from everywhere. Ottawa was winning the foot races. Winnipeg just couldn't get a handle on a puck to get it out, and they were really being physical. It was one of the big things. I was surprised how physical Ottawa was against Winnipeg, but it was sure a game plan that they executed well, because Ottawa deserved to score goals somewhere in that first period, and Winnipeg's lucky that Connor Hellebuyck saved them.
Well, Ottawa coming into the game tonight, Coach, 25.3 hits per 60 minutes. That is the fourth highest total in the National Hockey League. So the physicality may be not that much out of character for the Senators, because it always seems to be a feisty game between these two teams.
Yeah, you're correct. It just seemed right from puck drop. And I think it kind of, surprised Winnipeg at first. And then, with Stanley jumping in on the Scheifele, kind of hit and the penalties and all that. And then you can just tell that Adam Lowry just had enough. There was a few places that there were some hard physical, finishing of checks of some key players. And then there was one just before he came on the ice where it was right in front of the box, and you could tell he wasn't happy about it. And he took matters in his own hand, but that's what a captain does. But, I think it's a little bit of an MO. I think you're right that Ottawa likes to play a heavy game.
Yeah, I don't think Adam even waited to see if the referee's arm was going to go up on the hit by Clement or not. He was going. Just let's rewind back to the hit on Mark Scheifele by Artem Zub. This has always been one of my rants, and I'm not wearing Winnipeg Jets colors on this. Thank goodness Mark wasn't injured on the play. But to me, to hand out a disparity of penalties really, at least in my opinion, Coach, resembles or it sends a message that the referee in that particular instance, it does not have a feel for the game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And the hit, the way it went and how it all happened, for me, the Ottawa defenseman went out of his way to make contact with Mark Scheifele. And the defenseman, that's what he's told to do. He knows Mark Scheifele's on the ice, just like any defenseman's going to look and see which players are on the ice when the puck drops or when he gets on the ice. Mark Scheifele is someone that would have been highlighted because of the season he's having and how skilled the hockey player is. And defensemen are taught that you've got to pay attention. Anytime you can get a bump on him or any kind of knock him off stride, that's what you do. If he wouldn't have done that when he pinched down like he did, he would have got a little bit of a talking to when he went to the bench. Now, I'm not saying he was sent out there to hurt Mark Scheifele at all. He was just playing his position and doing his job. I do think that he stepped out of the way and kind of tried to change direction to get a piece of him. Now, I don't know if that was on purpose. It's hard to tell from watching it on the TV screen, but I do think there should have been a penalty there for that hit for 100%.
And I'm not surprised Tim Stützle missed a couple of shifts after that first Winnipeg goal, because Travis Green made a point of talking about the reliance on the entire team. But, the responsibility was asked of the coach about, the top six in particular. And Travis didn't want to make it all about them. But when one of your leaders who needs to step up makes an errant pass, a careless pass, if you will, like Stützle did, looking for Nick Jensen, and all of a sudden, Ottawa had the early momentum and had it taken away by that goal momentarily.
Yeah, it's a lesson learned, and it's a good job by Travis Green because, like you say, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a top six or bottom six. If you turn over a puck like that, it's something that they're trying to get out of their game. It's something that they don't want part of their game. They know that they can't turn pucks over any time at that spot in their defensive zone, especially against a team like Winnipeg, where they know that they'll gobble up those transitions and they'll make you pay on those types of mistakes with the puck. And it's a message sent, and it's a good job by the coach, because usually sometimes those top six players have a little bit of a leeway, but you can tell the margin for error isn't very little. It's sort of high right now with this Ottawa Senators.
4 losses in a row, and they've fallen below the playoff line. I'll bet when you were coaching the Brandon Wheat Kings of the Canadian Women's Olympic team, you trot out that cliche every once in a while. Well, your best penalty killer is the goaltender. That's usually for stopping the puck. But Ottawa had the pressure on that first power play, and it ended when Connor Hellebuck got his stick on a centering pass and killed the play. So he didn't have to make a save. He was a killer in that particular instance.
Yeah, you know what? And it's been interesting to see. There's been a few times how Connor Hellebuck is. You'll see coaches, PK coaches, say that the blue paint or the area in front of the goaltenders, that's theirs. So any passes through that paint, defensemen are taught that you're not supposed to touch those pucks unless you're going to clear the puck 200 feet. Otherwise, the goaltenders are going to stop it or direct it away. And that's a prime example of Connor Hellebuck having a good feel, having a good read. He just needed to redirect that puck and get it to the corner and get it out of that bee's nest in front of him.
All right, Coach, we shall talk to you during the second intermission. 2-0. The Jets leading it on goals by Cole Perfetti and Mason Appleton. Scoreboard coming your way next year on the first intermission report on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
When games are played, when there's a trade, sports news has been made. You'll hear all about it. 25 after the hour on 680 CJOB.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
In today's business world, hiring and retaining staff is a challenge. But Chambers Plan Employee Benefits gives you an edge. A solid benefits plan can be the deciding factor for job seekers. 30,000 Canadian businesses agree. Chambers Plan gives you the flexibility to offer comprehensive benefits with affordable, stable premiums. See how Chambers Plan can benefit your business at buychambers.ca. That's BUY Chambers.ca.
When your truck breaks down, do you take it to just any shop or do you take it to the best shop in town? So when it comes to your... why wouldn't you go to the top-rated guy? Go see Dr. J, one of the top-rated doctors on RateMD. So if your needs help rising to the occasion, bring him to one of the best.
Dr. J of Winnipeg Clinic offers new and innovative treatment options for erectile dysfunction. Book your confidential visit at winnipegclinic.com.
Winnipeg Jets exclusive coverage continues on 680 CJOB and CJKR 97.5 FM Powered 97. The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
2-0 Winnipeg out in front of the Ottawa Senators after 20 minutes of play. A couple of other games in the NHL tonight, but they're later starts. So Christian O'Mell on our scoreboard update. I guess we know what's going on with the parent teams. How about the affiliates in Belleville?
Well, in Belleville, it is 1-1 between the Moose and the Belleville Senators. They are in the second period. Former Moose Wyatt Bongiovanni with the goal for Belleville, his 18th of the season. Brad Lambert's fourth, answered for the Moose on the power play, and it's Thomas Milich already stopping 16 shots in this one. PWHL in Ottawa, the Charge leading the Sirens 2-1. They are early in the second period. MJHL action just getting underway in the next half hour or so. Portage at Niverville Verdun visiting the Winnipeg Blues. Western Hockey League, it is Edmonton already up 1-0 in Brandon, only 3 minutes into that game. Raptors down 51-41 in Indiana at the half. And yes, 2 games later on tonight, Devils and Avalanche at 8:30, Canucks at Kings at 9.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Kings, winners of 5 of their last 6 as they try to maybe put a little pressure on struggling Edmonton and Vegas, who've been kind of in and out as well. Boy, it was amazing how Ottawa dominated that first point. Well, probably about the first 12 to 15 minutes or so. But after the final timeout, looked like the Jets found their game.
Right, and that showed on the shot clock, right? I thought Ottawa was in control of that for the most part. Winnipeg gets 2 shots or 2 goals really early, but yeah, Winnipeg did a good job of settling things down, withstanding the flurry. Hellebuck a big part of that, and now they got a power play here. Not a ton of power play time, but try to start the second period off on the right foot. 51 seconds of it, as a matter of fact. Travis Hamonic led all players with 5 shots on goal, and Jake Sanderson, 9 minutes time on ice, just a touch more than Dylan Sandberg at 8:54. 2-0, the Jets on the power play when we return to Ottawa on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Brad at St. Andrews Parts and Power is pretty easygoing. Until it comes to to-do lists. Brad hates them with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 burning suns. That's why he'll turn your to-do list into an is-done list with a new Coyote tractor. Get 3 great Coyote incentives on select Coyote subcompact tractors. $1,000 cash back, a free loader, and monthly payments of $345 with 2.99% financing for 72 months OAC. For details, see St. Andrews Parts and Power, where you'll say, "That guy helped me."
And I can help you too at St. Andrews Parts and Power.
Experience the thrill of live music at South Beach Casino and Resort, presented by Coors Light. Our new concert series features an exceptional lineup of tribute shows in our new ballroom. Relive the King's legendary energy and charisma. Saturday, March 29th, experience the magic of Elvis Presley with the one and only Corny Rempel. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now for South Beach Casino and Resort's concert series at eventbrite.ca. Details on our events page at southbeachcasino.ca.
Hey there, Blake Legault here from Will C. Live Ford. If you're a parent chauffeur like me, you know the importance of a comfy, reliable ride, especially when your little hockey stars are in the back seat. That's why Will C. Live Ford's here to help you find the perfect Bronco or F-150 to tackle any road or rink-bound adventure. With our transparent pricing, you won't feel like you're skating on thin ice. So whether you're looking for the ruggedness of a Bronco or the power of an F-150, we've got you covered. Visit our family-run dealership in Eli or check us out at willcliveford.ca.
This is your front row seat to all the action for Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Just underway in this second period. Long change for both teams and long shoot-in to Connor Hellebuck off the stick of Sanderson. Glove down. 10 seconds have expired in this second. Winnipeg leads at 2-0. And to the near side, Velarde. In like the read. Curls back inside his own zone. Paul Edmonds, Mitchell Clinton with you. From Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. And darting through that neutralized corner for Scheifele, far side, down along the boards. Winnipeg starts this second period with some power play time with which to work. They get it established inside that Ottawa end. Scheifele moving in, shooting! And it's stopped by Linus Ullmark. He'll hang on for a whistle. 36 seconds have expired in the start of this second. Still 15 seconds to go in that penalty to Nicholas Matanpalo.
Yeah, when you get this close to kind of the end of the power play and Nikolai Ehlers will hop off, Dylan DeMello will come on, just give Winnipeg that extra defensive presence. Matanpalo set to come out of the box shortly.
Do it to the right of Ullmark. And Ottawa wins the faceoff. Curling behind his own net, Jake Sanderson races out towards center ice. Still has the puck crossed over the line. Stops off to the hash marks. And then he'll rim it around to the far side. A couple of seconds to go in the power play, and that'll do it. Winnipeg now out of their own zone. Scheifele on his opposite wing. Onto the far side. Will dump it off the boards and send it down inside that Ottawa end. Sanderson with it again. Smashed off the boards out towards center ice. Lowry will kind of shepherd the puck back inside his own zone, and a long lead pass for Connor into the middle for Lowry. Hustles inside that Ottawa end. Put it into where the slot. Coming in, Appleton. He tried the rudder move. He got it from behind him up to the front of his stick, but he really couldn't corral it there and back toward the line. Puck finds the stick of Pionk. Slap shot, but no traffic in front. Easily handled by Linus Ullmark. He will hang on for a whistle. So, Senators are back to full strength, and the Jets are 0-for-1 with the man advantage.
I thought Appleton was going to one-time this, and I think so did the Ottawa Senators. It comes over to him, and he's got a look, but he makes a great play to bring it from behind him out in front, and he's just not quite able to corral it on that backhand. If he does, he's in on Ullmark alone.
Do it to the left of Ullmark, who's lost 3 straight games. Meanwhile, the guy at the other end has won 7 straight. Just pushed off the boards by Ottawa on a face-off win. And Winnipeg back at center ice. Neil Pionk had some problems with the puck. Turned it over at center. Dumped right back in by Amadio. Pionk swirls away from the check, trying to move it up along the boards. Amadio will take that, though. Trying to get it out in front. Stopped by Hellebuck. Pionk with it again. Takes a body check from Highmore, but managed to outlet to the near side. Now Niederreiter takes a pass from Appleton through that neutral ice. And he will just kind of force it inside that Ottawa end. Tyler Clevin and Adam Lowry go after it. Clevin comes away with it. Moved it into the middle for Highmore. He will sprint to the near side and twist it off the window and send it bounding down inside that Winnipeg end. Ottawa wants some changes. Winnipeg will move it ahead. Nemesnikov dropped now for Niederreiter. Onto the far side for Appleton. Put toward the net. It hit the back of the leg of Shabbat, bounced into the corner. Stützle is there, and Stützle now for Shabbat. Wheels out of his own zone to center ice. Long shoot in. That stopped back in behind the net by Hellebuck with the first one on it. It's centered out in front. Is one of the Ottawa Senators, and that was Stützle. Hellebuck just about gave it away, but nobody in front for Ottawa for Stützle to pass it to. Came back with the line. It's held by Jensen. Jensen now for Stützle, up top for Shabbat. Slung toward the net, stopped in front by Hellebuck, and it bounced into the corner. First one on it are a couple of Sams. They still have the puck. Back toward the line, Perron for Jensen. Walks the line, wristed toward the net, deflected by Crookshank in front, and that just went wide. Sent back toward the line, another shot from the point, blocked away by Hellebuck, and Winnipeg under siege will finally gather it up in Perfetti, get it down inside of that Ottawa end. Stützle carries it out towards center ice for Gregor. He lost the puck. Winnipeg back the other way, and Iafallo. A 1-on-2. Cards his way inside the zone, puts on the brakes, put it back to the line, walking into a slap shot. Miller kicked away by Olmark. Rebound gathered up by Kapari. Twisting and turning, little cutback move into the corner, back to the line for Miller. Miller pressured, rimmed it back in behind the net, finds the stick on the far side there of Gustafsson. Back to the near side for Miller. D-to-D for Stanley. Stanley a wrister toward the net, that one wide. Short side, careens off the back wall. Miller tried to hold the line, could not. Winnipeg will regroup in the neutral ice. Here comes Iafallo, makes a nice move across the line, hanging onto the puck, but he's kind of forced into the corner. Kapari in there for help. Now it's grabbed again by Iafallo, spun around into the near side corner. Gustafsson back toward the line. Stanley moving in, shooting. Deflected by Iafallo net front, and that's stopped by Olmark. Rebound into the corner. Winnipeg's turn to kind of fluster Ottawa inside their zone. Back toward the line, to the near side again. Pionk, wristed toward the net. That one wide with purpose. Grabbed into the corner by Velarde. Velarde beetles after it, put it back into the corner for Gustafsson. Long shipper. Partially this fourth line, back toward the line again. Pionk now for Velarde, side of the slot, back to the line for Pionk. D-to-D for Sandberg, changing on the fly out in front for Connor, turns, and he fired. It was blocked in front. Grabbed again by Sandberg, pitched in, chipped it into the corner for Connor. Connor rolls back in behind the net, little pass to himself, but he got taken off stride. Ottawa will seize possession. Sanderson will flip it over, but his head all the way down, right on top of Hellebuck, and icing washed out. Hellebuck will then sweep that into the corner over the stick of Sandberg, given away again to Perron, but Perron is forced out of the line by Winnipeg. Perron after it again, now again for Unique. Crossed over the line, back toward the line here for Zub. Zub a wrist shot toward the net, off the stick of it, challenging Velarde, up and over the back glass, and out of play it goes. 14:57 remaining in this second period. 2-0 Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets hockey is brought to you in part by Mid-Canada Fasteners, Santa Lucia Pizza, and Mr. Furnace.
You love that shift from the Kapari line. Partially because, of course, you're spending time in the offensive zone. You're going low to high. Pucks are getting to the net. But what you also love is the work below the goal line. Rasmus Kapari makes a really nice play where he's going in on one of the Ottawa defensemen, lays the body, but uses his forward momentum and his path toward that hit to take that defenseman out of the play, but then roll right off the hit and pick up that puck for full possession instead of a one-on-one battle behind the net. Winnipeg had full possession in the offensive zone.
Morrissey to center ice will dump it in, but they're going to say that he wasn't quite at the red line. It will be icing against the Jets. Continue.
And that's just, we talk about stacking offensive shifts, but it's the little things and it's the little details that, if you can come out of a battle with a puck, and there's a number of ways to do it, of course, like Rasmus Kapari is not going to win a puck battle the same way Adam Lowry is, but you find what's effective for you. And Rasmus Kapari, for him, it's his speed and his ability to get himself into a good position offensively.
Back toward the line, Matt and Paulo whipped a shot toward the net, stopped by Hellebuck, and we'll do it again to the goaltender of the Winnipeg Jets left.
And Hellebuck just continues to handle those rebounds. Bit of a scary moment early on in the second with that puck that kind of just kept spinning and rolling off of his stick, and he ran out of time in the trapezoid. But like you said, Ottawa didn't really have anybody in front of the net to be able to take a centering pass.
Jets will fight for the puck into the corner. Couple of hard body checks out in front, and a quick shot stopped by Hellebuck on Adam Gaudette. Winnipeg lost the battle, and Adam Gaudette was alone in front, and it was pulled off the wall by Amadio and sent back out in front. Winnipeg will get towards center ice and send it down. One of the Senators is tripped up. No call coming up against the Jets. Matt Paulo will jam the puck up along the boards and out towards center ice. Gaudette with the puck across the line. Dropped it for Highmore. Rink wide pass. broken up by Lowry. He'll turn it north. Moving ahead now for DeMello to the near side for Appleton. He controls the puck even though he went in backwards. He'll one-hit it back in behind the net. Hamonic is there, jammed off the boards, moved up along the boards for Matthew Highmore, out towards center ice. His pass intercepted by Nemestikov. Back the other way come Winnipeg. Nemestikov into the corner. Out in front, he dropped it for Perfetti. And he whipped a shot toward the net. That went maybe off the goaltender wide. Winnipeg to the rebound, tried to get it back toward the line, but it split the D and slides all the way back down inside the Jets zone.
Ottawa bench yelling for a too-many-men call against Winnipeg, and they also didn't like the fact that Niederreiter didn't get a tripping call. Niederreiter just kind of toe-picked and fell over, and his stick tripped the Ottawa player.
Stützle across the line, drop pass, Zub shoots as he walked into a slap shot, stopped in front. I think friendly fire back the other way. Kapari, partial break, moved in, and coming back to stick lift him was Jake Sanderson. Oh, it's River Hockey right now at the Rideau Canal. Cruikshank to center ice, he'll backhand it in. Jammed into where the corner there. Sandberg trying to move it up along the boards. Iafallo trying to stick lift. It squirts free again to Sandberg. D to D for Neil Pionk. He'll skate it out of his own zone. To center ice, he'll dump it in. Rimmed around to the far side. Paddled around here for Shabbat. Shabbat up along the boards to the near side of Matteo. Into where the middle for Zub. He escapes his own zone for Unique. And Unique will dump it down inside that Winnipeg end. Changing on the fly for both teams. Winnipeg out towards center ice. Iafallo across the line. Moving in. Iafallo to the front of the net. A jam job. And it's stopped there by Allmark. Came back with the line. Held again to the near side. Pionk. Wrist shot off the shoulder of Linus Allmark. And it bounces into where the corner. Picked up again by Yan Unique. Out towards center ice. Neil Pionk fights off a check. Amadio was going to have the puck, but there was already a Senator inside the zone, so he had to give it up. Winnipeg a freebie back to come inside that Ottawa end, and a shot is slung toward the net by Shifley off the rush. He put that wide. Back to the line, Morrissey slap shot. That goes wide. Healed off the back wall, out in front. DeMello a shot. Allmark made a great save. Acrobatic like on DeMello. Back in front again. Velarde trying to get it out in front. He does, and a shot they score. Kyle Connor bounces one in. And it's 3-0 Winnipeg. Just an excellent shift for the Jets.
A just reward for the Winnipeg Jets in the way that they were playing. And, they come up ice with so much speed. Velarde and Shifley kind of work that weave on the entry so perfectly and sets up the first opportunity on the shift for the Jets. And then Josh Morrissey gets to his position. He and Shifley work a little give and go. Results in the puck getting low, and man, does Gabriel Velarde make a couple of great plays along the wall below the goal line to set this play up. Just pulls this rim play from Kyle Connor off the wall in his forehand and gets his body turned and drives to the front of the net. And then when he realizes he's not going to be able to get that puck on net, just dishes it off to his right, and Kyle Connor makes no mistake, short side.
8:04, the time of the goal. Kyle Connor is first in 5 in his 31st of the year. He continues to lead the team now with his 72nd point. And Winnipeg has expanded their lead to 3-0. Nemestikov will glide inside that Ottawa end. Dump it back in behind the net. Nick Jansen will roll it around to the near side. Stop to the line. Out in front and a quick shot. Ehlers stopped by Allmark again. Good stop at the line here by DeMello, and he put it right into the slot for Nikolai Ehlers. Coming right down Main Street. But Linus Allmark has been sharp so far, even though he's given up 3 goals. Winnipeg back inside their own zone, trying to fetch the puck. Jensen put a weak shot toward the net. Hellebuck will stop that as well. Sent out towards center ice, turning it north. Here's Stützle with some speed. Carves his way in, dropped it for Shabbat. Right down Main Street, shoots and scores. Shabbat will come in, take a pass from Stützle, and wrist one to the top of the net on Hellebuck for his 5th of the year. Ottawa's on the board. It's 3-1 Winnipeg.
Yeah, and Winnipeg just loses this puck in the neutral zone, and Ottawa is able to attack with some speed as Stützle gains the entry, and then it's Thomas Shabbat joining the play late. So when Stützle turns back, it's Shabbat jumping into the play, and he's able to use his speed to just duck around Nikolai Ehlers and get himself into a shooting position in that left faceoff dot. It's an absolutely perfect shot off the bar and in past Hellebuck.
And we'll line it up at center ice. And Ottawa wins the draw. Paulo tapped it off the boards. Gaudette goes after it. Bumped off the puck nicely by Appleton. Winnipeg inside their own zone to the near side. Lowry into the middle. Chugging through that neutral ice here is Stanley. Shakes off a check. Crossed over the line. Passed it to himself. Got it back in behind the net. Skirts it along the boards into the near side corner. Winnipeg after it again. It's given away. Amadio for Appleton. Shoots. And it's stopped by Hallmark. And then we get a pile up at the side of the Ottawa net. Some pushing and shoving as Winnipeg on some relentless forechecking has forced Ottawa into some egregious turnovers inside their own zone like that one. 10:42 remaining in this second period. Timeout on the ice. We'll do the same on your radio. The score, Winnipeg 3, Ottawa 1. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets Hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
If it matters to you, it matters to us.
We would like to hear from you. We'll continue to take your calls and text messages.
We heard you. I think our listeners hear you.
Thank you for all the tips that you are sharing this morning.
Thank you for sharing your stories with 680 CJOB.
At Boston Pizza, we think fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. So we created BP's 20-minute lunch special for just $15. Come into your nearest Boston Pizza any weekday for one of our $15 lunch specials with your choice of an entree, a side, and a drink. And we'll serve it to you in 20 minutes or less. Or the next one is on BP. Get a real lunch, real fast, for real value. Only at your local Boston Pizza. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Physiotherapists are licensed healthcare professionals who work in private clinics or who deliver mobile therapy services within your home. They also work in a variety of public sector settings, hospitals, personal care homes, schools, and within community therapy services. They can assess, treat, and manage pain, injuries, movement dysfunction, and a variety of chronic medical conditions. Click Find a Physio on Manitoba Physiotherapy Association's website at mbphysio.org so you can get back to enjoying life and the activities you love.
Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg Jets Hockey is brought to you in part by St. Andrews Parts and Power and Windeck. Face off to the left of Linus Allmark. 3-1 Winnipeg in front. We're halfway through this hockey game. 10:42 remaining in this second period. And Ottawa will win the draw and expel it back out towards center ice. Winnipeg tried to move it up along the boards. Sandberg lost his stick. He kicked it to Neil Pionk. Pionk got it outside the zone and then carried back in by Ottawa. Offside. So Winnipeg avoids a odd man rush with one of their defensemen against without a stick. Thanks to that offside call.
And outside of the fact that they just got on the board, did the Ottawa Senators, a little bit of good news. Claude Giroux had left the game after taking a point shot kind of off of him just in front of the Winnipeg Jets net. He's back on the bench now.
Sandberg with a stick firmly in his hands. Turns his skates, goes back and retrieves the puck. Moves it up along the boards to the near side. Velarde will pull it off the wall. Back into the middle for Sandberg. He will nudge it ahead on the far side for Kyle Connor, who darts inside the zone. Connor will curl the hash marks. Connor back to the left side point. Now down along the board. Shoots! And he wanted a deflection from Mark Scheifele, net front. Scheifele waved the stick at it, missed it. Caught by Allmark, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 10:03 remaining second period. Jets by 2.
And this is something that Mark Scheifele is just so good at. You think of the overtime goal against San Jose where he just finds a way to ditch his check. I mean, this is Winnipeg's leading goal scorer just finding a way open in the slot against the Ottawa Senators. There's nobody around him. That's why Kyle Connor was trying to get that puck to him, whether off a deflection or just a saucer pass. Just great awareness by Scheifele.
Right side point. DeMello penalty coming up to Ottawa. There goes Hellebuck to the bench for the extra attacker. Morrissey to DeMello. Down along the boards for Lowry. Back toward the line. DeMello up top for Morrissey. Slides it far side for Ehlers. Rink wide. Into the middle. Jammed off a stick. And it was broken and played by Paulo with a broken stick in his hand. The Jets will argue about that. The referees and the linesmen will get together. There will be an initial call. I wonder if there might be two minors.
Yeah, you cannot play with a broken stick. So if the officials deem that he played with that broken stick, it should be an additional call.
Well, we'll straighten it out when we come back. 9:42 remaining.
Ottawa, number 33, has 2 minutes for high sticking and 2 minutes for playing with a broken stick.
Interesting. Winnipeg will get a couple of power plays when we come back. They lead it 3-1, looking to add on again. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB. Beyond moving in, slap shot, score!
Jets fans, get ready for the last Saturday game of the regular season on March 1st when your Winnipeg Jets take on the Philadelphia Flyers. It's your only chance to see the Flyers in Winnipeg this season, and tickets are selling fast. Get your tickets to this exciting Saturday night matchup by visiting winnipegjets.com/tickets. Jets, Flyers at winnipegjets.com/tickets.
You know what goes well with pizza from Santa Lucia Pizza. They've been the leaders in quality since 1971, and now they just keep winning award after award after award. So, sounds like they know a thing or two about making tasty pizza. How about this? When you're getting ready on game day, choose one of Santa Lucia Pizza's many specials or combos, and find out why time and time again it's listed as Manitoba's favorite pizza.
Santa Lucia Pizza.
It's all about the sauce.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
So, Nicholas Manpolo, a high-sticking call and playing with a broken stick. So it's a double minor. It's a 5-on-4 for the Jets for 4 minutes. Power plays 2 and 3. They're 0 for 1. They lead by 2 at 3-1. 9:42 remaining in this second period. Ottawa wins the draw. Zub, far side, moved it ahead, and Ridley Gregg will sweep the puck all the way down the ice.
A couple of pieces of bad luck for the Winnipeg Jets coming off of a couple of faceoffs by Mark Scheifele that he's been able to win over towards the wall, and Gabriel Velarde's just had to go off of his skate both times and end up in the hands of the Sens.
Knocked away in a foot race for the puck. Noah Gregor down inside the Winnipeg end, and he's taken off stride nicely by Morrissey, who moved it back ahead through the neutral ice. Kyle Connor across the line. Velarde moving in. Velarde got kind of tugged on, got the puck toward the net. Penalty coming up to Ottawa. Allmark made the save, and it will be a 5-on-3 here.
Ottawa, number 85, 2 minutes for hooking.
So Jake Sanderson for hooking on Velarde.
Yeah, Sanderson had really no choice on this one. Velarde had him beat coming around that corner and just kind of put the stick out and impeded him. It's an obvious call, so Winnipeg will have a full 2 minute 5-on-3 to operate with here. Well, you look for the opportunity for the power play to get on the board. Davis Payne had all the power play personnel over at the bench, just between the whistle and the penalty announcement, just trying to get things straight for the 5-on-3.
Scheifele, Velarde, Ehlers, Morrissey, and Connor. Jets win the draw, back toward the line. Morrissey up top. Far side for Connor on this 5-on-3. Down low for Scheifele, out in front for Connor. Back for Scheifele, goal line. He emerges, stick handling with the puck, shoots, stop, rebound, and it's pushed back into Allmark. He'll make the save and hang on. Jet fans, the Dallas Stars are in town Friday, March 14th. You don't want to miss this exciting rivalry matchup. Get your tickets now by visiting winnipegjets.com/tickets.
And the thing for Winnipeg on a 5-on-3, yes, there's so much open ice, but you want to make sure you're keeping that shot mentality, trying to stay as aggressive as possible.
Scramble face-off. Winnipeg will just outnumber Ottawa. Come away with a puck. Up top, Kyle Connor. Down through that slot area, passed it off for Scheifele, back for Morrissey, up top to the near side for Connor into the corner. Connor passed to himself off the boards. Put it back in behind the net, reaching forward Ehlers. Spins it around to the far side, pulled off the wall, Scheifele. Up top for Morrissey. Back for Scheifele, back for Morrissey, slap shot, pounded it wide. Came off the back wall. Corralled now and held to the line by Connor. Right down Main Street, shoots. And it's off the stick of Artem Zub. Up and over the back glass. And on a play it goes.
Ottawa penalty killers doing a pretty good job of knowing when to jump. Zoop with a nice little bit of reach there. Just gets stick on puck as Connor's releasing it. And seeing a little bit of rotation from the Jets power play, and Morrissey and Connor kind of changing spots, just trying to create a little bit of an opening for Winnipeg to get some pucks through.
Face off to the right of Allmark. Jets win the draw again. Bit of a high stick on Ehlers, but he's okay. Scheifele toward the corner. Scheifele rolls off the corner. Up top, Morrissey slap shot blocking away by Allmark. And it ricochets off the cheese board, over the glass on the far side, and into the seats, Mitchell, for a
souvenir. And again, setting up for that Morrissey one-timer on this one. There's been quick little chats after every face-off here for Winnipeg on this power play.
Back to the line, held nicely by Kyle Connor into where the corner for Velarde. Velarde will try to play it down low, intercepted by Chabot, and he will flip it over everybody's head and all the way down the ice. So, still 40 seconds to go in the 5-on-3 for the Jets. Here they come, sauntering through that neutral ice. Scheifele over to the far side for Morrissey up top to get it established. Paddle it back along the boards for Ehlers. Back for Morrissey, down low for Scheifele. Scheifele rolls off the boards, out in front for Connor. Connor didn't shoot for Scheifele. Below the circle, Scheifele up top again for Connor. Back for Scheifele. Some rotation going on. Down low, Velarde. Velarde for Connor. Makes a move, shoots. Blocked in front. Rebound grabbed there by Gregg and swatted all the way down the ice. 10 seconds to go in a 5-on-3. Here comes Morrissey at center. Through that neutral ice, he'll drop it now for Nemestikov. Flip back toward the line for Connor. Darts into where the corner. Put it out in front. I have follow a shot. And it's stopped by Allmark. And he will hang on. 1:20 remaining in the second minor to Matt and Paulo. So the Jets are now officially 0 for 3 with the man advantage. They're on their fourth.
Yeah, and looking for that perfect play, right? And a couple of times I think Winnipeg was trying to find that seam cross ice for a one-timer, and just Ottawa did everything they could just to make sure it wasn't available.
Ottawa wins the draw. It's now a 5-on-4. Up along the board, Sanderson, that didn't click. Stolen by Iafolo. Iafolo for Niederreiter. Back toward the line. Perfetti moving in, shoot. Stop, rebound, and that fell. Sanderson a little slow to get up. Tyler Clevens also left this game, by the way, will not return tonight. Lower body injury for Ottawa. Back across the line. Niederreiter to the near side for Cole Perfetti. Perfetti into where the corner. 50 seconds to go. 5-0 in power play number 4 for the Jets. They lead it by 2. And Perfetti tried to force it back toward the line. Ticked off the shaft of the stick of Matthew Highmore and sent down inside that Winnipeg end.
Perfetti just trying to fit that pass in, and it's another example of a good stick from Ottawa.
Nemestikov scoots inside the zone, dropped it into where the corner, intercepted by Zub, and he'll wrist it all the way down the ice. 20 seconds to go in the power play for the Jets. Last call on it. Ding, ding, ding. Fans are enjoying what the Ottawa Senators have served up on this penalty kill to the near side. Sliding inside the zone. Hamilton takes a hard bump, rolled it back toward the line. Here's DeMello, winds up, slap shot. He hit the post with a broken stick. Lowry tried to eject it off the back wall and did. Held to the line. Sandberg, near side. A shot by Gustafsson, stopped by Allmark, and then the rebound of the putback by Appleton, who has a goal tonight. He put that wide. Broken stick is there. Winnipeg will pull it off the wall. Penalties are over. Far side, Noah Gregor will backhand it from his own blue line and bounce it inside the Winnipeg end. Ottawa's back to full strength. Jets are 0 for 4 with a man advantage. Here comes Lowry. Chugs inside the zone. Now for Gustafsson. Shot toward the net. Off a stick. And it floats into the glove of the goaltender, Linus Allmark, who reaches back in behind the net, makes the catch, and will hang on. 5:12 remaining in this second period. The score, Winnipeg 3, Ottawa 1. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on the radio home of the Jets. Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
The Start.
I hope that I'm wrong about this one. Would love to see this in my lifetime, but I'm still super skeptical.
The Start with Meckling and McGarry. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 on 680 CJOB.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Hi, I'm Mike. And I'm Brett. At Mid-Canada Fasteners, we try to be your one-stop shop for all of your construction needs. We have a large inventory of threaded rod, strut and strut fittings, as well as construction-rated ladders and sawhorses, janitorial supplies, rigging supplies, and personal safety equipment. So come by and see what we have to offer. Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome here at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
Doug and Deb's deck was dilapidated, so they demolished their dismal deck and drafted a DIY do-over. Despairingly, the design was a disaster, and the deck was a dud.
Deck dilemma? Find out why we say do it once, do it right with Windeck. Hi, I'm Mel Duick. With our low-maintenance products and award-winning design team, we can turn your outdoor living space into a beautiful deck that's easy to care for and built to last. Get inspired at windeck.ca. Do it once, do it right.
It's like being right on the glass. Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
5:12 remaining in the second period. 3-1 Winnipeg. We do it to the left of Linus Ullmark. The Lowry line is out there. Lowry, Appleton, Niederreiter, Miller, and Stanley. Jets are now 0 for 4 with the man advantage tonight, and they're 0 for their last 10. In the last 3 and almost 2/3 games. Face-off wasn't done fairly. Adam Gaudette against Lowry. We do it again. And Gaudette will win it. Hamonic into the corner. Moved ahead for Matt Paulo. Up along the wing and off a stick. Slides all the way down. Icing washed out. On the retrieve. Colin Miller. He'll reverse back in on his own net. Stop up. Try to feed it up along the boards here. Appleton, who has to fall back toward the puck to help out his D-man, and does. Now for Stanley. Nice pass into the middle for Lowry. Rink wide to the near side for Appleton across the line. Appleton will drop it now for Miller. Wrist shot toward the net, blocked in front. Back the other way comes Matthew Highmore. He'll chug towards center ice and chip it off the boards and head off on a line change. Winnipeg back in by their own net. They gave it away. Set it out in front. Verana's shot, and it's stopped by Hellebuck. And then the whistle goes, and we get some pushing and shoving as Winnipeg on the retrieve gave up the puck. Amadio was there and tried to get it off the back wall. Also, I think Ridley Gregg, or no, it was Tim Stützle. But Amadio was the one that forced the turnover and got it back out in front to David Perron. Wrong guy if you're the Jets. For the Ottawa Senators, a guy that scored a lot in the National Hockey League.
Absolutely, and now you talk a lot about momentum. Does your power play get you momentum? Well, you kind of heard the crowd as that penalty kill for Ottawa kind of came to an end. They started to get on their feet. Now Ottawa's getting in on the forecheck. They're starting to feel it.
Back toward the line. Shot came in off a stick that went wide. Bounce back toward the line. Out towards center ice, and Shabbat will shovel it with a backhand back inside that Winnipeg end. Morrissey glides back in on his own net, hands it off for DeMello. Kapari will fight to get it out towards center ice and does. It squirrels back inside that Ottawa end. Jensen up along the wing of the far side for Giroux. Giroux taking off the pocket. The Winnipeg line moved ahead. Gustafsson far side. Kapari slides in, moves in, shoots. And that stopped rebound at the side of the net. And Iafallo had a chance at it. And I believe Ullmark made both saves. Good chance off the rush for Kapari. Nice pass by Gustafsson. Winnipeg back inside their own zone. They move it ahead now, and again, cruising through that neutral ice. Iafallo all alone, and he will just sprinkle it down inside of that Ottawa end and then head off on a line change. Sanderson to center ice. He'll dump it in. Stopped by Hellebuck back in behind his own net. Puck was up in the air. He managed to rim it around for Neil Pionk, who sends it all the way down. Icing will be the call against the Jets. Trained at the official practice facility of the Winnipeg Jets in Manitoba Moose with Winnipeg Jets Hockey Development Spring Camps available for U7 to U18 players. Tailor your training sessions by choosing your group members and coach, or develop your skills in one-on-one and one of our spring programs. To register, visit hockeyforallcenter.com.
Love Rasmus Kupari shooting that puck off the rush. Just get that thing on net and see what happens. He had a really good look and a really good opportunity, but Allmark with a nice stop.
Winnipeg wins the draw. Shifley inside his own zone. Got it out towards center. Winnipeg didn't like the read, and Connor flipped it back inside his own zone. Long lead pass. Velarde at center. Goes off his stick and down inside that Ottawa end. Shifley batting forward. He falls down along with Nick Jensen. He's moved up along the wing for Perron. He can't get it out. Fight will start to the near side hash. Carved away out of some skates by Connor. Far side for Sandberg. Just flipped over his stick. Otherwise, he was coming right down Broadway. Winnipeg picked it up into where the corner. Velarde rimmed it around to the far side. Pinching into Sandberg. Paddled it back from Velarde back in behind the net. Twisting and turning. Velarde trying to get some separation. Pushed against the boards. 2:35 remaining in the second period. Jets by 2. Velarde kicked it from his skate to his stick. Connor helps out. Back with the line. Pionk. Far side for Sandberg. Off the heel of his stick and popped back out towards center ice. Sandberg will wrist it right back in. There's another scuttled broken stick inside that Ottawa end. Sanderson glides out towards center ice to the near side. Drop down for Cruikshank, moves and shoots. And he ripped it wide. Came back toward the line. It's held by Nick Jensen. Makes a nice move into where the corner. Stützle curls. Stützle still with the puck. He got to the high slot, dropped it back off. Rotating now are the Ottawa Senators. Here is Batherson, shoots, stop, rebound, and a put back by Cruikshank. And he just put it wide. Winnipeg will get it out towards center ice. Off the stick of Cole Perfetti. And it bounces down inside the Ottawa end. Chabot wins that puck battle. 1:45 remaining second period. Stützle out towards center ice. Bounced it down inside the Winnipeg end. Stanley on the retrieve. Behind his own net. Got a little bit of separation. Up along the wing on the far side. Rick wide to his deep partner now in Miller. He will get out towards center ice and dump it in. After it goes Stanley as he pinched in to hold the line. Scooped up off the back wall. Perfetti tried to go back into where the slot for Nikolai Ehlers. Pass was way wide, and it slides all the way back down inside the Winnipeg end.
Love that Stanley kept moving his feet on that retrieve. It's a big part of why Winnipeg was able to break out and have the momentum through the neutral zone that they did.
Madden Paulo into where the middle. Senators up along the boards to the near side for Michael Amadio. He will dump it in with a backhand. Hellebuck out of his net to play that into where the corner for Miller. Miller twisting and turning, trying to fight off a check and does. To the near side for Appleton. Golf chopped it out towards center ice. Partial 2-on-1 developing. Lowry moves in. Lowry to the net. Shoots and he just put it wide. He had on the far side Niederreiter, who was maybe taken up by the defenseman and the backtracker. Back the other way on the far side. Gregor will shoot it in. Bounces back in behind that Winnipeg net. 35 seconds remaining in the second period. To the near side. Winnipeg got taken down, and Appleton inside that Ottawa end from behind. No call. Winnipeg out towards center ice. Will dump it back in. Allmark will play it around softly to the near side for Sanderson. He broke his stick trying to get it out. Winnipeg can't hold the line. Goes into where the neutral ice. David Perron across the line on the far side for Zoom. Moving in. Zoom didn't shoot. Back for Perron. Far side slap shot by Chabot. And it's in and out of the glove of Hellebuck. 5 seconds to go. Winnipeg will dispatch it out towards center ice. And that'll do it for 40. In Ottawa, Ontario tonight.
Well, the thing Winnipeg did well coming out of that power play that couldn't find the back of the net was they kept Ottawa's momentum at 5-on-5 pretty minimal, and in fact generating a number of chances for themselves coming out of it. That goes a long way to quell some momentum. Winnipeg will take the 2-goal lead going into the third to start this road trip for sure.
Davis Payne is downstairs. Hey, thanks a lot for taking the time. Assistant coach of the Winnipeg Jets, and your impressions through 40 minutes here tonight.
Well, it's been one of those games where as long as we're moving our feet and moving our legs and taking away their time and space, we seem to have the possession and the control of the sort of zone territorial battle. But without that, they get some pushes coming back against us, and extended 5-on-3 there that wasn't as sharp as we would like it. So we're in a game.
And Davis, you mentioned that 5-on-3. And you brought the power play personnel over just before it started. What kinds of things are you trying to say or prioritize at a 5-on-3 as opposed to maybe a 5-on-4?
Well, just talking about how we expect them to cover it, and they gave us the shooting lanes that we knew we were going to get or felt we were going to get, and at times it was a little bit. The execution wasn't quite as sharp as it needed to be. Some shot lanes were there, and we didn't take them. And then there was some movement off the puck that was a little bit of a misread by us. So not as sharp as we would like it, but we still fortunately have a 3-1 lead going to the third.
Davis, just maybe a thought on how you've spread out your scoring here tonight. All three lines or three of your four lines have found the back of the net.
Well, it's like I said, as long as all five guys are out there playing connected and playing with a push towards the right way and in the right direction, we seem to gain some opportunity, gain some ice to attack their net, and that's worked out for three of the groups anyways, and so we want to just make sure that continues.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in the third. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Davis Payne, assistant coach of the Winnipeg Jets from downstairs. His team leading 3-1 after 2 periods of play. Let's have a look at the stat summary through 40 minutes. Winnipeg opened the scoring. Cole Perfetti is 12th of the year from Ehlers. 7:46 of the first period, 1-0 Winnipeg. Mason Appleton, a minute and 17 seconds later, his 8th of the year from Niederreiter and Scheifele at 9:03. 2-0 Winnipeg. They carried that into the dressing room after 1 period of play. Jets added on Kyle Connor, his 31st of the year, and for him, team leading 72nd point as he at 8:04 finds the back of the net to make it 3-0. Velarde and DeMello collect the assists. But only 49 seconds later, Thomas Chabot, his 5th of the year from Stützle, gets Ottawa on the board, kind of kickstarted the offense here for the Ottawa Senators, and they really, I think, found some belief in the hockey game. Then they kill off 3 minor penalties in a 5-on-3 situation, shorthanded, gets some momentum from that. Nobody else scores, and it's 3-1 at that point after the Chabot goal. That's where we stand now after 2 periods of play. Power play opportunities. Winnipeg is 0 for 4 with the man advantage tonight, and the Ottawa Senators are 0 for 1. The shots on goal, Winnipeg had 18 in that second period. Ottawa had 11. The Jets, 2-period total, way out in front of the Senators. The Jets, 31 shots so far through 2. The Senators, 23. Winnipeg leading by 2, though, at 3-1. Second intermission report is coming up next with Kelly Moore, Dwayne Gillowoychuk, and Christian O'Mell. Again, the score, Winnipeg 3, Ottawa 1 after 2. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97, 680 CJOB.
From the gridiron to the ice.
Been that way forever.
You're not wrong. City Hall to the movie theaters.
This one's getting pretty good reviews.
Let me check it out sometime when it's on home video.
CJOB covers all the highlights with our daily podcasts. Hits from every show.
Sometimes that's all we're getting, right?
Pretty scary stuff.
And game day coverage.
He's looking at the crowd. He's smiling a bit because he's still relishing in the win.
CJOB on Apple Podcasts and wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
If you got pain in your... Do you go to just anybody? Or do you want to take your... to the best? Yeah, you go with the top guy, like Dr. Jay Buenafé. He is one of the top-rated doctors on RateMD.
Approximately 1 in 10 men suffer from a condition called Peyronie's disease. It can cause pain and discomfort. Learn how Dr. Jay Buenafé can help. Book your confidential visit at buenafeclinic.com.
Experience the thrill of live music at South Beach Casino and Resort, presented by Coors Light. Our new concert series features an exceptional lineup of tribute shows in our new ballroom. Relive the King's legendary energy and charisma. Saturday, March 29th, experience the magic of Elvis Presley with the one and only Corny Rempel. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now for South Beach Casino and Resort's concert series at eventbrite.ca. Details on our events page at southbeachcasino.ca.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
3-1, the Winnipeg Jets leading the Ottawa Senators after 40 minutes of play. And I guess if you're Jets fans and you're a little nervous over how Ottawa was able to kill off all those penalties and maybe still be in this game, Winnipeg is 31-0-1 with the lead after 2 periods. Ottawa 1-19 trailing after 2. As we're walking into the second intermission report, and Jets fans, March 1st Philadelphia Flyers in town for the final Saturday night home game of the regular season. That is this Saturday night. So be sure to get your tickets visiting winnipegjets.com/tickets. Well, with the coach, Dwayne Gilowojchuk, and we have to start with that extended power play, coach, where the double minor to Matt and Paulo, and during it, Jake Sanderson also has to take a hooking penalty on Gabriel Velarde. For the first time this season, I think I would say that the Jets power play looked a little stagnant out there.
Yeah, and I think, assistant coach James Payne used a couple words that were unique, urgency, not taking what was given, trying to, create a little bit more. And I really felt that, they weren't direct. They weren't as much movement around. They were easy to read. They weren't, especially on the 5-on-3, they didn't really get Ottawa's PKs, moving, open up the seams across through the neutral zone of the offensive zone, or really find seams backdoor. Ottawa did a really good job to stay nice and tight. They didn't chase the puck. And it just, Winnipeg was just kind of like almost like they didn't really want to do things direct, quick, and let the puck do the work. And then, before you knew it, the power play was over.
Yeah, and, the Jets now actually 0 for their last 12. They failed to score on the last 2 chances against the Carolina Hurricanes, and then against the Islanders, St. Louis, and then San Jose, a combined 0 for 6, 0 for 4 tonight. So I don't know, maybe it is the first power play drought of the season for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, it's interesting to see just, the urgency, and, it could be as, one thing is that some of the plays that Winnipeg has had success to, where they go down to the goal line, they look to the slot for Velarde, or they go down to the goal line and then look to the back door for Velarde, or to Nick Ehlers in that bumper. Teams are really cheating, taking away those plays, and it just seems that maybe Winnipeg has become so used to those plays being open that they're not being as creative as they used to, where they had lots of rotation. The puck would go low to high, and see Nick Ehlers go to the goal line, and that's what made them so unique, and it opened up those seams. And now they've become, like you say, really stagnant. There wasn't a lot of movement, and it was just interesting to see how before you knew it, the power play was over.
Yeah, you go back to I think it would be about 4 minutes or so into the second period. And part of it was a great shift by the Jets' fourth line that kept Ottawa hemmed in to the point where Senators defenseman Nick Jensen had a 2-minute and 23-second shift.
Yeah, you know what? I remember that shift because, even the shift before the fourth line went out, Winnipeg, you could tell, was starting to be able to get pucks in deep. And I really said, that they must have a mindset they really wanted to get pucks in deep behind Ottawa's D and get the forecheck established. And then, that whole shift, Winnipeg controlled the play. They weren't letting Ottawa, kind of get body position, win puck races, and they really had the puck possession. And then before you knew it, they kind of took the game over there a little bit for a stretch. They scored the goal, and, it all started, like you say, with that fourth line shift.
Boy, Connor Hellebuck with some big stops in that second period that prevented Ottawa from getting any closer than they did. One happened when it was still 2-0. That was that save about 5.5 minutes into the period off of Adam Gaudette from point blank range. But I thought the even bigger stop, Dwayne, especially when it came just after Ottawa had finished killing off those penalties, the big save on David Perron all alone in front.
Yeah, I think that was, the biggest of it is night where, the momentum of killing off, the 5-on-3, the double minor, there was lots of excitement in the building. If that puck goes in, now all of a sudden, Ottawa can build off it, and they got some life from killing that penalty. And that's a big save for, Connor Hellebuck to do his part for his hockey club. And I think if we look back, if the score stays and Winnipeg is able to win this hockey game, we're going to look back at that save as a turning point for sure.
And so much for what I know. Talking on the pregame show about the absence of people like, Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, and Shane Pinto, guys that are very prominent at the faceoff circle for the Ottawa Senators. Well, Ottawa has won 28 of 41 faceoffs in this hockey game.
And we didn't really talk too much about it in the first period, but the numbers were exactly, pretty close to the same thing in the first period. And it's usually this, not that much of a discrepancy for the Winnipeg Jets on a given night, but Ottawa is doing a really good job and they're winning some faceoffs clean. Outright. And, then there's other times where they're doing a really good job of coming in, wingers or defensemen coming in and winning the puck possession. But they're doing a good job. They're quick. They're jumping. And it's one of the aspects where Ottawa is a lot more cleaner than Winnipeg for sure.
14-7 for Ottawa in the first, 14-6 for Ottawa in the second period, rather, the coach bang on. As we look ahead to the third period real quick here, Dwayne, and certainly Davis Payne talked about it. When the Jets have kept their feet moving, Ottawa's had a hard time competing with them. Is it as simple as that for the third period? Because I just get the sense that, the first 5 minutes or so could be very, very important, from the Jets' perspective in terms of not only just holding the fort, but preventing Hellebuck from having to make the big save. Show that maturity to shut a period down.
Yeah, I think and have the confidence that we've seen in this Winnipeg Jets hockey club, where they're just going to roll lines over. They're going to have good puck management. They're going to have good changes. And I think the biggest thing, the Ottawa's goal, there was a mishap around the red line. They were able to turn a puck over. Then they went back in the zone and, they scored the goal. I just think Winnipeg needs to make sure that pucks are deep. They can make good line changes. They don't get on the wrong side of their checks. But I think also, as this period goes on, if Ottawa is able to score a goal, I think one of the key things is always that unwritten hockey rule that they've got to stay disciplined, because usually a ref likes to look and even up a 5-on-3 somewhere along the line.
Absolutely. The penalties have been, power plays rather, have been 5-1 Winnipeg's favor. All right, Coach, we'll talk to you in the post-game show. Christian O'Mell standing by with a scoreboard update next here on the Second Intermission Report on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
680 CJOB is your place to turn for the information you need. And we get it all started first thing in the morning with The Start. 4 hours of fresh outlooks, engaging conversation, information as you need it, and plenty of fun along the way. Catch The Start 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 680 CJOB.
Hey there, Blake Legault here from Will C. Live Ford. If you're a parent chauffeur like me, you know the importance of a comfy, reliable ride, especially when your little hockey stars are in the back seat. That's why Will C. Live Ford's here to help you find the perfect Bronco or F-150 to tackle any road or rink-bound adventure. With our transparent pricing, you won't feel like you're skating on thin ice. So whether you're looking for the ruggedness of a Bronco or the power of an F-150, we've got you covered. Visit our family-run dealership in Eli or check us out at willclifeford.ca.
At Boston Pizza, we think fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. So we created BP's 20-minute lunch special for just $15. Come into your nearest Boston Pizza any weekday for one of our $15 lunch specials with your choice of an entree, a side, and a drink. And we'll serve it to you in 20 minutes or less. Or the next one is on BP. Get a real lunch, real fast, for real value. Only at your local Boston Pizza. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
When you bet with Plano Sports, goals become Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Plano Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
We'll hear from Coach Scott Arniel on the post-game show right here on 680 CJOB. And, of course, you can also find the post-game show in podcast form. Just search Winnipeg Jets Post to Post wherever you get your podcasts. Christian O'Mell standing by with a scoreboard update. We're still waiting for the start of the other two games on the NHL docket. When last we visited with you, Christian, it was all even in Belleville between the affiliates of these two teams.
Alas, though, Kelly, the Senators have drawn ahead as Belleville leads the Moose 2-1 with about 13 minutes left in the game. Thomas Milic has been pretty busy tonight, 26 saves so far. Brad Lambert, the lone goal scorer for Manitoba. A lot of penalties in the second period of this one, but the Moose, they got some time to try and catch up here in the MJHL tonight. Verdun up 2-1 after one on Winnipeg Blues, a game that was supposed to be in December but got rescheduled. Portage up 1-0 in Niverville after 20 minutes. Busy night in the PWHL game as well. Ottawa and New York tied at 3. Elm Creek's Corrine Schroeder in net for New York in that one. 95-82 Pacers taking care of the Raptors with about 6 minutes to go in that one. The Brandon Wheat Kings are now ahead of the Edmonton Oil Kings, up 2-1 as they play midway through the second period. And the two other games later on, Devils and Avalanche starting at about 35 minutes, and then the Canucks and Kings just after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, Devils looking for their fourth straight win on the road in that one. Well, the Winnipeg Jets this year, when they have scored 3 or more goals, as they have tonight, have a sparkling record of 36-2-1, but they have some work to do against this plucky Ottawa team. We'll see if they can pull it out in the third period. The goal scorers for the Winnipeg Jets: Cole Perfetti, Mason Appleton, and Kyle Connor. Thomas Chabot for the Senators when we return to the nation's capital next on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
You probably know their names.
We need a safer city, so we're being very intentional.
Likely know their job titles.
Our support is awesome here.
But how well do you think you know the people?
Taking a Team Manitoba approach to tackling the challenges
that help make this province tick. We're going off the clock. Join me, Jim Toth, as we get to know our leaders, athletes, musicians, community advocates, and business owners outside their regular hours.
I think it's important to be open about it because when I was going through it, it was very hard to ask for help.
Off the Clock with Jim Toth, Saturdays at 9 a.m. on CJOB.
He's got it. Morrissey, corner, score!
Jets fans, JT Miller and the New York Rangers are facing off against Kyle Connor and your Winnipeg Jets Saturday, March 11th. Don't miss your only chance to see the Rangers in Winnipeg this season. Get your tickets to this exciting matchup by visiting winnipegjets.com/tickets. Jets, Rangers at winnipegjets.com/tickets.
Take control of your health today with the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association. Physiotherapists are skilled at treating a variety of conditions, including but not limited to muscle and joint pain, neurological disorders, vestibular disorders, pelvic floor disorders, and a variety of chronic health conditions. In Manitoba, you don't need a doctor's referral to see a physiotherapist in a private clinic. Learn how the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association can help you take control of your health. Click Find a Physio at mbphysio.org.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Club is expressly prohibited. The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets are in control of this one, but at points you kind of feel like it's precarious. 3-1, Winnipeg in front. As we welcome you back, Paul Edmonds, Mitchell Clinton with you. Just about ready for the start of the third period. Jets are out shooting Ottawa drastically, 31-23. They haven't scored on the power play, and we'll see what happens here, whether Winnipeg really has a push to kind of finish off Ottawa, or if Ottawa gets a goal and gets right back into this game. Winnipeg underway here, and Appleton bumped off the puck, but got it down inside that Ottawa end. Nick Jensen turned over the puck. Appleton out in front. Lowry bouncing puck. And there's Chabot to come away with the puck. Wheel back in behind his own net. Save the day and help out his defenseman. Chipped off the boards out towards center ice. Highmore back in front. And Gaudette was all alone going toward that Winnipeg net in the slot area. And the puck just bounced over his stick. Chabot with it. He'll land it back off again for Jensen. Cuts into where the middle. Tried to center it there. Broken up by Appleton. Appleton will backhand it up along the boards and out towards center ice. Lowry touched it back now for Niederreiter. He will get to center ice and wrist it down inside that Ottawa end.
And you know a strong start is important for Winnipeg in this third period, just to continue with how they kind of finished that second period at 5-on-5, spending time in the Ottawa zone and not really giving up much.
Willardy sprints inside the zone, dropped it for Kyle Connor. Whipped toward the net as he came in off the rush, put it well wide, it bounced off the back wall and carries all the way back down inside that Winnipeg end. Hellebuck rolled it around to the near side for Sandberg. Up along the boards and hit the body of one of the Ottawa Senators, carried back inside the Winnipeg end, bounced off another Senator. We'll get an offside call against Ottawa. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Will Eli Ford and the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association.
And Connor Hellebuck's ability to just come out and play that puck, not try to do anything too fancy with it, but just move it and help his defensemen out have really helped quell some of the forecheck pressure that Ottawa's been able to put on Winnipeg's D.
Sandberg on the retrieve, back inside his own zone. He'll move it up along the boards, and it bounced right onto the stick there of Nikolai Ehlers. He tapped edges towards center ice, and he will bound it down on top of the goaltender, Linus Ullmark, who will glove that down and hang on for a whistle. You and I were talking as we were getting ready for the start of the third period. It has not been a kind night for the Winnipeg Jets in the face-off circle.
No, it really hasn't. 13 of 41 going into the third period are the Winnipeg Jets. And we've heard Scott O'Neill talk about, they have their own internal stat that they're looking at. A lot of it around the battle that ensues right after. You just don't want to lose them clean.
Here comes Cruikshank across the line. Shoot, stop, rebound on the putback, and he just put it wide with his own rebound following up on the far side post. And Winnipeg will snap it off the board, send it all the way down the ice. Ice will be the call against the Jets. On face-offs from the other night, Scott O'Neill said this, quote, "It may not be the draw itself. It may be the battle that gets you that puck."
Well, we talked a little bit about some of the face-offs that Mark Scheifele's been in, and he's moved, and the puck's gotten to the hash marks, and Velarde jumping in to try to win that draw. It's ended up going off of a skate and right back into that battle, and so sometimes even when you do snap one off that face-off, it doesn't always go well.
Stützle, high slot on a face-off win, hands it off, shoots on the far side as he gave it off there on the far side to Chabot. He was the one that just kind of whipped it wide. Slung back into where the corner. After it, Batherson back toward the line. Held to the near side, Jensen. Up along the boards for Stützle. High slot for Chabot. Chabot didn't shoot, curls. Got back to the high slot again. Forehand. Now for Stützle. Drop for Jensen. Wheels into where the corner. Had to contend with one of the officials over there. In to help out is Stützle. Bumped off the puck. Winnipeg trying to fetch it. Neil Pionk back in behind the net. Nemestikov is there. Ottawa came away with it back toward the line. Slap shot off the stick of one of the Jets, or off the blade, the skate blade of Nikolai Ehlers. The blade popped out. He kind of one legs his way toward the bench to get the attacker out that they want with actually two good skates. And Winnipeg back inside their own zone. So a shot block by Ehlers goes off the skate blade and popped the steel right out of the plastic. I don't know if they picked the steel up, but I don't see it back inside the Winnipeg end, and the Jets will send it off the boards all the way down, right on top of Ullmark. And then the puck rides off a stick as Ullmark trying to move it to one of his defensemen into the meshing back on the ice surface. We'll get a stoppage of play. 16:51 remaining in this third period. 3-1 for the Jets. That was kind of nondescript because Ehlers blocked it. You then saw this piece fly. You didn't know whether it was a stick or not. Then Ehlers went back down and then tried to get back up, realized that he lost the steal in his skate boot.
Yeah, and the lucky part for him was he was out by the blue line, so he just really had to shuffle across about 10 feet to get to the bench. Sometimes you get yourself caught in a defensive zone situation and you're not able to get off the ice. So good awareness there by Nikolai Ehlers to know exactly where he was on the ice, get himself off so Winnipeg could be at full strength.
Gets sent down inside the Winnipeg end as it split the D. Turning his skates to go and retrieve that as Miller moved it up along the boards. Unique will try to stop that. Turn it over at center ice. Right back with the puck again is Miller. He'll dump it in from center ice. Winnipeg goes after to Kapari. Kapari rolled it around back toward the line. Gets into a bit of a battle with Unique. Unique back to the near side here for Matt Paulo. Back into the far side for Jan Unique. Unique across the line. Shoots off a skate blade and wide. Tumbled back in behind the net. Winnipeg will grab that. Out of his own zone is Gustafsson. David will get towards center ice and dump it in from center. It bounces in, and Gustafsson will head off exit stage right on a line change. We played 4 minutes of this third period. Winnipeg by 2, but Ottawa is coming. Puck is sent all the way down. A foot race. It looked like Amadio had beaten Josh Morrissey to the goal line. They blow it down, and then a chorus of boos will follow from the faithful here at the Canadian Tire Center.
Josh Morrissey with a really good pivot, and I wonder if the linesman kind of made his decision just a hair early than when Amadio was able to overtake Josh Morrissey, because it was right at that last second where Amadio stuck that stick out. But Winnipeg will gladly take that icing call and take the offensive zone draw that comes with it.
Yeah, when you look at the replay, Morrissey had about half a stride on Amadio, and they got toward the goal line, and then Morrissey let up, and that's why I think there was maybe the feeling that Amadio beat him there, but Morrissey, had he kept going, would have retrieved that puck. In the old days, he would have touched it first for that touch-up icing rule. Winnipeg with the puck inside that Ottawa end. 181 takes the puck of the other. And Gaudette took it away from Connor. Wheels inside the Winnipeg end. Shoots. Stopped by Hellebuck. Rebound. Zoom in the slot. And it popped off his paraphernalia. Winnipeg will shovel it around on the near side. DeMello up along the boards. Out towards center ice. Perfetti couldn't handle the pass. Shuffled back inside the Winnipeg end. We'll get a stoppage of play. Offside will be the call against Ottawa. Actually, they weren't at center ice. It'll be an icing call against the Senators with 15 and a half remaining in this third period. Jets leading 3-1.
Yeah, Sanderson just misfiring on a cross-ice pass, trying to run a little bit of a quick up to try to catch Winnipeg back on their heels, but just misfired on that.
Face off to the right of Ullmark. Winnipeg wins the draw. Wrist shot toward the net by Sandberg. Off the blocker again of Ullmark. Fight for the puck along the back wall. Some pushing and shoving going on. Niederreiter is there. Freed it up now for Lowry. Back toward the line for Pionk. Little east-west move. Wrist shot toward the net. Blocked in front by Sanderson. And then dumped back out towards center ice. Exhausted there by Ottawa. Winnipeg will curl back inside their own zone. Niederreiter to the near side for Appleton. Paddled it up with a backhand. Now for Lowry. Sprints inside the zone. Puts on the break to the hash mark. Dropped it for Sandberg. Into where the corner for Niederreiter. Rimmed it around to the far side. Stopped there at the point by Stanley. Now for Appleton. Appleton's wrist shot blocked in front. It popped back into the high slot. Back the other way, Batherson. Far side, Stutzla. Stutzla back for Batherson. But he skated in front of by Stanley, who came away with the puck. Stanley took a pop along the back wall. Miller helped him out. Stanley with the puck again. Up along the boards to Lowry. In toward the middle now for Appleton. Redirected inside that Ottawa end. Quick up goes off a skate boot. And then settled down by Ehlers. Ehlers back inside his own zone. Lead pass there for Miller. Up along the wing for Perfetti. And redirected inside that Ottawa end. 14:05 remaining in this third period. Back the other way come the Senators. Across the line. Chopped off the puck was Crookshank. Winnipeg will turn it north in transition. Ehlers will shoot it in from center. Hopped over the stick of Ullmark. Goes back into where the corner. Crookshank will take a pass as it's a rim around the boards. He goes rink wide to the near side for Chabot. To center ice. He'll flip it down inside the Winnipeg end. On the retrieve goes DeMello. DeMello back in behind his own net. Off the boards for Morrissey. They play a little bit of catch. Back for DeMello. Long lead pass at center ice. Nemestikov. Onto the far side. Velarde. He gets squeezed against the boards to the far side at center. Just by the Ottawa bench. He'll push it back inside his own zone. Winnipeg continues to control. Into where the middle now for Shifley. Through that neutral ice and he'll double it in. It goes around the boards, off the stick of Sanderson, stopped in the line. And Pionk's shot is off a stick and wide. Kept in by Connor. Into where the corner for Shifley. Back to the line, Sandberg. Up top, Pionk. Wrister toward the net. Love down by the goaltender and Linus Ullmark. And he'll hang on for a whistle. 13:11 remaining in this third period. The score, Winnipeg 3, Ottawa 1. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97, 680 CJOB.
You can now get your local news from 680 CJOB instantly on Amazon Alexa. Just add CJOB to your flash briefings on any Alexa device and say,
Alexa, play me the news.
It's that easy.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
If it sounds too good to be true, well, you know the rest. But I get it. Some deals sound tempting, like this guy.
These prices are insane. The boss has lost his mind.
When it comes to your home's heating system, do you really want to do business with a company that resorts to gimmicks like this? You could call them and see what they're really offering, and then give Mr. Furnace a call. In fact, they encourage you to call around and get quotes first, and then call Mr. Furnace. You'll see why. Give it a try. Call 204-832-6243.
Recycle smart. No plastic bags in the cart. Plastic bags ruin your recycling efforts, increase costs, and end up in the landfill. Never put plastic bags, whether they're empty or full, into your recycling. Simply toss your recyclables loosely into your cart. If you collect your recyclables in a plastic bag, empty the contents into the cart. You can reuse your plastic bags or return them to a participating retailer. For more information, visit winnipeg.ca/recycling or contact 311.
Hey, this is Morgan Barron, and you're listening to Winnipeg Jets Hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton on 680 CJOB.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Plano, official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 3-1, the Jets are in front. 13-11 remaining in this third period. Face-off will happen to the left of Linus Ullmark. Shots on goal, 35-25 for the Jets. Scheifele line is out there. And Mark wins it back toward the line. Wrist shot by DeMello from the point. That just went wide. Pitching in to hold the line. Morrissey takes a pop there from Batherson. Turned over the puck, and it's kind of alley-ooped out towards center ice. Settled down again by DeMello now for Connor across the line. Near side for Scheifele. Curls up into the corner, put it back for the line. Morrissey, far side DeMello. He waits back up top for Morrissey. Far side for Connor. Locked and loaded, didn't shoot. Now wristed toward the net. Deflected in front by Scheifele and stopped by Ullmark. Scheifele to the rebound into the corner. Trying to fight off a check. Got pushed off the puck and down to the ice. Winnipeg waiting for some help there. And Velarde is there to help out Scheifele. Now for Connor. Flip back around the boards below the goal line. Trying to slide off a check. Velarde got pushed off the puck there by Sanderson, who lost his stick. Jammed along the boards. Pitching in is Morrissey. Trying to fight off a check there as well. Velarde skips to it again. Rolled around by Zoo. Back in behind his own net for Sanderson. And he will dump it out towards center ice off the stick of Perron. And it falls back inside that Winnipeg end.
Good shift from that Scheifele line. A great deflection as well in front by Scheifele. And a really good stop by Ullmark there. And I'll tell you what, Morrissey pinched down the left side wall. And Drake Batherson did not see him coming whatsoever. He's likely pretty lucky that Morrissey went for the puck instead of lowering the shoulder.
Along the wing and out towards center ice. Michael Amadio will dump it in. The former Los Angeles King. Stopped by Hellebuck. Rolled it around for Sandberg into where the middle for Beyond. Up along the wing on the far side, Kapari. And he tried to backhand it inside the Ottawa end. Instead, it goes inside the Ottawa bench. And out of play it goes. We'll get a stoppage with 11:40 remaining in this third. Jets by 2.
And in the last few minutes have really, kind of settled this game down. Their breakouts have been quite efficient. I talked about how sometimes Connor Hellebuck can help with that. And, when you're making Ottawa defend, it's not as much that they can spend, obviously, time in your zone. And they're probably not coming at you with a whole lot of speed. It's a lot of dump-ins. And Winnipeg's been doing well to recover those cleanly and then start coming back the other way.
Miller will settle back down, back in behind his own net. And he will survey. And the booing will start. Miller still with the puck. Long indirect pass out towards center ice off the stick of Appleton right there. To Ullmark, the goaltender, and he will snap it off the boards out towards center ice. Fighting for Lowry. Jammed it along the boards. It's picked up by Appleton into where the corner. Waits back on it for Lowry. A shot. And he just put it over the net. It might have been deflected off a challenging stick of one of the Senators. Back in behind the goal. Senators will snap the puck out towards center ice off the stick of Hamonic. Bounced inside the Winnipeg end. Reaching forward. We get some shenanigans going on back in behind the play. Way back in behind that Ottawa net involving Nino Niederreiter. And then we're going to get it blown down as the puck was back inside the Winnipeg end. Claude Giroux was there with Niederreiter, and I don't know if they got tangled up or what was going on as the puck was back inside the Jets end.
And earlier on in that shift, some really good neutral zone defense by Adam Lowry. He's one of the reasons that puck was initially turned over to create the opportunity that ends up with him getting that one-timer. And then again, he stifles another Ottawa rush coming back. And then it's because of the tangle up between Niederreiter and Giroux that Lowry kind of had to slow up in the neutral zone, and the play still ended up being offside.
Matteo, rink wide now for Thomas Chabot to center ice. Flip down inside the Winnipeg end. Ehlers goes after it, rolled it around for Pion. Rimmed around to the far side. Is he going to get outside the zone? No, it won't. Kept in by Ottawa. Winnipeg reverses to the near side. Skipping after it now is Sandberg. His pass into where the mid lane for Nemestikov popped over his stick and slides back inside that Ottawa end. 10:15 remaining in this third period. Ridley Gregg down along the left wing boards. Dropped it for Noah Gregor. Gregor curls high slot now for Chabot. Chabot to the near side. Right side point. Shoots off a stick and wide. Kept in by Perron off the bench to the far side. Shoveled it back in behind the net. Gregg goes after it. Ridley Gregg will put it back in behind the net. The Lethbridge product into where the corner here for David Perron. He'll put it down low. Controlled again here by Highmore. He scoots away. Cut back. In behind the net. Got it back. Got it right. shot, and Greg was there, shoveled it around Nikolai Ehlers, and just put it wide. Fighting off a check did Ridley Gregg. Into the far side corner. A snarl forward over there. 3 Jets, 3 Senators. Came back to the high slot. Here's Perron shooting. Blocked by Sandberg. Perron to the rebound. Snapped toward the net as he squeezed off a shot. That's blocked as well. Gregg back out in front for Highmore. Taken off his stick. Sent back to the line. A shot. And it's put wide by Sanderson. Zub will pick up that rebound back in behind the net. Ottawa buzzing around. Winnipeg hanging on. Sanderson onto the far side for Perron. Perron working against Neil Pionk. Pushed off the puck. It then goes back in behind the net. Highmore, high slot. He will drop it now again for Sanderson. Sanderson will drop it at the line. Here comes Stützle moving and shooting. And it's off Nikolai Ehlers. Up and over the back glass. And on a play it goes. Excellent shot block at the right time for Nikolai Ehlers. And Winnipeg dodges a bullet. 8:54 remaining in this third period. The score, Winnipeg 3, Ottawa 1. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey. The radio home of the Jets, Power 97, 680 CJOB.
You can play the hits from all our shows anytime, anywhere through our podcasts. The Start.
That was the moment of truth in my life, for sure.
Jets at noon.
The likes of which we have never seen before in Winnipeg.
Pre- and post-game shows.
There were a couple of beauties, too.
The news.
Those voices get amplified through social media.
CJOB, this year's winner of the best podcast on the prairies. CJOB on Apple Podcasts and wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Hey, I'm Mike. And I'm Brett. At Mid-Canada Fasteners, we've always done business the way we did when we started. Our job is to do whatever we can to get you back to work.
And make your life easy as a contractor. Now we just have more selection, more inventory, and even better parking.
Come on in, where everybody knows your name.
For good old-fashioned service and a selection that's second to none.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome here at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
In today's business world, hiring and retaining staff is a challenge, but Chambers Plan Employee Benefits gives you an edge. A solid benefits plan can be the deciding factor for job seekers. 30,000 Canadian businesses agree Chambers Plan gives you the flexibility to offer comprehensive benefits with affordable, stable premiums. See how Chambers Plan can benefit your business at buychambers.ca. That's BUY chambers.ca.
This is Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
Do you know someone making a positive impact in your community? Nominate them to be a Winnipeg Jets Community Hero presented by Bell MTS. Visit winnipegjets.com/community hero to recognize your hero at a Jets game this season. 3-1 Winnipeg, but Ottawa spending an inordinate amount of time inside that Winnipeg end in this third period. Just under 9 minutes remaining in it. Back toward the line, Batherson on another face-off win. Snapped toward the net, blocked by Morrissey, snatched there by Connor, and flipped out towards center ice.
Winnipeg's 14th block of the game, and they've come up with some big ones here in the third period. One by Morrissey there, and then a couple by Nikolai Ehlers at 2 different points in this period.
Mello will shoot it all the way down, and it was attempted to be knocked down by a stick. Never hit anybody, so icing will be the call against the Jets. And, you know, frankly, Mitchell, they've had to block shots because they have been reeling and under siege inside their own zone in this period.
Yeah, they started off the period pretty well in terms of the time spent in the Ottawa Senators zone, but here and there, you know, there were opportunities for Ottawa in this third period, and it kind of started to build on that, and now Winnipeg spending the majority of the time defending here.
Morrissey inside his own zone, hard off the board. Jensen will kick that with his skate boot back into where the corner, retrieved there by Scheifele for Morrissey, now for DeMello, into where the middle for Velarde at center, and redirected with a stick blade down inside that Ottawa end. 8:05 remaining third period, Jets by 2 at 3-1. On your radio, home of the Jets, Power 97 at 680 CJOB. Stanley on the retrieve, up along the boards now for Scheifele. Bit of a 3-on-2 and a lead pass. Kyle Connor, breakaway, moving in, backhand, stopped by Allmark, rebound is sitting there, and Velarde couldn't find it. Sent back toward the line, held by Miller, D-to-D for Stanley. Stanley along the boards, Cutback move by Rasmus Kapari. Sprints into where the corner, curls back in behind that Ottawa net. Still has the puck. Kapari back to the high slot, and he came outside the line. And we'll get an offside call against the Jets. We'll see where they attend to that face-off. That could almost be intentional. Young linesman in the Parkland region might have called that. Hey?
Yeah, but this gray-haired person that I've become would say, nah, it was just Kapari, I think, just losing his spot a little bit there, so it'll just come outside the Ottawa zone. And sometimes you just got to marvel at some of the passes that Scheifele or Connor can thread to each other. That pass that Scheifele made to spring Kyle Connor on that break, there was not a whole lot of room there.
That's gray? You never wore a toque. I thought it was frost. Snapped off the window, bounced out toward the line. Here come the Senators, 3-on-2. Ridley Gregg across the line, shoots it into where the corner. Batherson goes after it, pushed against the boards, keeps his feet chugging into where the corner. Batherson came away with a puck. Batherson still battling there. Got a little bit of help. Here's Gregg now for Perron. Rimmed around to the far side. Ambling after it is Hamanuk. He's forced out towards center ice by Gustafsson. Under 7 minutes remaining in this third period. Winnipeg leading by 2 at 3-1.
Gustafsson took a really nice route there on that puck that was rimmed around, and Hamanuk was going to get there first, but Gustafsson took the route in such a way that he was going to be able to pressure immediately and got it out.
Long lead pass goes too far for Appleton, but he got there first to nullify the icing call as Lowry was on his side of center. Winnipeg now will try to contest the puck inside the Ottawa end. Fans are trying to help out here. There's a great contingent of Jets fans here tonight. Likely mostly expats from Manitoba. Still a scrum forward in the near side corner of the Ottawa end. Lowry on the periphery. It comes loose and goes by him. Noah Gregor will sprint out towards center ice. And he galloped inside the Winnipeg end and tried to pass it off. Broken up by Winnipeg and Lowry. Back into where the middle. Leading the attack, Morrissey. Through the neutralize. Cut across the line for Appleton. Right down Main Street. Shooting. Stop. Rebound. And Niederreiter just put it wide with a backhand. Big time stop there for Allmark. Winnipeg will chop one of the defensemen and Shabbat off the puck. That's Appleton. He went down. Appleton's going to take a penalty. And then Ottawa gave it away in front of their own net. And it's touched by Nemesnikov. He put it into the goal. But with him touching it, there will be no goal. There will be a penalty to Appleton, who knocked down Shabbat at the Senators' blue line. And we'll tell you about that as the Senators go on the power play for the second time tonight after this timeout. 5:39 remaining in the third. The score, Winnipeg 3, Ottawa 1. Ottawa with a man advantage upon our return. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on Power 97, 680 CJOB.
News and information is more important now than ever. CJOB is working for you, getting the answers your family needs and bringing you into the conversation. 680 CJOB, Winnipeg's news, today's talk.
Lowry moving in, shoot, score!
Jets fans, the playoffs are just around the corner, and your Winnipeg Jets are gearing up for a deep playoff run. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the electric atmosphere at Canada Life Center by placing a deposit on a 2025-2026 season ticket membership. Experience the legendary Winnipeg Whiteout live and in person by visiting winnipegjets.com/deposit.
At Boston Pizza, we think fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. So we created BP's 20-minute lunch special for just $15. Come into your nearest Boston Pizza any weekday for one of our $15 lunch specials with your choice of an entree, a side, and a drink. And we'll serve it to you in 20 minutes or less. Or the next one is on BP. Get a real lunch, real fast, for real value. Only at your local Boston Pizza. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Hey, this is Nikolai Ehlers. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton are bringing it Winnipeg Jets hockey style on 680 CJOB.
Tripping call to Mason Appleton. And it puts Ottawa on the power play for the second time tonight. They need a goal. They trail by 2. They win the draw on the far side. Chabot, rink wide, and it's broken up with a great stick by Alex Iafallo, who pokes it out towards center ice, and it slides all the way back down inside that Ottawa end. Sanderson onto the far side. That's broken up by Lowry. He will then sprint inside the zone, knock it in further, back in below the goal line, and Sanderson is there to rim it around. Stutzla now on the far side, hustling through that neutral ice to the near side. Gannett. It came off his skate inside the Winnipeg end. DeMello up along the boards for his D partner in Sandberg, who will find a seam and dump at the distance.
I talked about Adam Lowry's neutral zone defense a little bit earlier at 5-on-5. Makes another play there on the penalty kill, and even throughout this game, he's broken up a couple of Sens plays on the backtrack as well.
5 minutes to go in this third period. Jets by 2 at 3-1. Here's Ottawa. They advance the puck inside that Winnipeg end. To the near side, Stutzla will drop it into the corner. Gaudet will fight for it, twist off a check. Got a little bit of separation. Back to where the line. Stutzla knocked off his puck, or knocked off his stick, and the puck squirts out to center ice, and forced there by Kyle Connor. He'll get it in deep, and then exit stage right for a line change. 4.5 remaining in this third period. Ottawa trying to cruise out of their own zone to the near side for David Perron. He'll shoot it in. Too hot to handle back in behind the net for Hellebuck. It spins around to the far side. Sandberg goes after it. He'll find it and whips it around the boards. Nobody home, right side point. And the puck will then bounce all the way back down inside that Ottawa end.
Great pressure by Josh Morrissey earlier on the penalty kill, pressuring 2 Ottawa Senators in the defensive zone.
25 seconds to go on the power play for the Senators. Amadio rushed to the ice into the corner by Sandberg. Freed up the puck now for Kapari. Snapped off the boards with some authority and sent all the way down the ice. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Winnipeg with a wholesale line change. Here come the Senators out of their own zone. Across the line. Good active stick by Sandberg, but he couldn't get it out. Stays inside the zone. Wristed inside the Winnipeg end. From inside the blue line by the Senators. I don't believe it touched anything. It goes into the meshing. Winnipeg would like a face-off outside of the neutralized area.
That's a great penalty kill by the Winnipeg Jets. Ottawa even won the opening draw and tried to go D to D, and Iafallo broke that up. And really, since that point, Ottawa wasn't able to get set up in the Winnipeg zone. Part of that is pressure, like I talked about by Josh Morrissey. Part of it's great sticks. And now Ottawa, with 3:36 to go, will pull Ullmark for the extra attacker.
So the faceoff will stay inside of the Winnipeg end. Lowry will be entrusted to win the draw against Claude Giroux. A 6-on-5 for Ottawa. Scramble faceoff. It goes into the corner. Patherson rims it around the far side. First one on it is Shifley. Tried to shoot it out. Popped off the shin pads of Sanderson back into the meshing. And out of play it goes. We'll do it again. 3:28 remaining in the third. 3-1 Winnipeg. By the way, the shots on goal, 38-25 for the Jets. Shots on goal totals are for Dr. J's Men's Sexual Health Clinic. Need to perform better in the bedroom? See the top-rated doctor on Google and rate MD. Visit Dr. J at WinnipegClinic.com. Sends with a draw. Sanderson up top. Onto the far side and played down low for Perron. Perron back along the board. Giroux up top for Sanderson. Slap shot, kind of fan on that. Goes right to Lowry. Lowry to the empty net, and he just missed it. But it's picked up there by Shifley, nullifying the icing call. Back out towards center ice as Shifley turned it over. Giroux inside the zone, trying to spin off a check. Still a 6-on-5. Stutzla's there. He gave it away. Sprinting to the puck again. 2-on-1 corner for Shifley. Shifley to the empty net. Score! Mark Shifley with an empty netter will make it a 3-goal lead for the Jets, and it's 4-1. And Winnipeg is that much closer to their 11th straight victory.
And again, it's defending, right? You know, the Ottawa Senators win that opening faceoff pretty cleanly, but once they try to get a puck to the net, it's Winnipeg that's on the retrieval quickest. And, you know, Adam Lowry with the first opportunity just misses, but Mark Shifley, those little details, went out, beat that icing call, and that's exactly what he does. Play comes back the other way. Winnipeg forces another turnover in the defensive zone, and they make no mistake coming back the other way. And, you know, just those little details, they make such a big difference and give you the opportunity to increase your lead like Winnipeg just did.
Shifley's team leading 33rd of the year, and Winnipeg also their 19th empty net goal this year. That also finds them atop the league. Back inside his own zone. Ehlers to the near side for Cole Perfetti. Cross-ice pass on the far side. Ehlers will take that in stride. Moving right in. Chip pass to himself, and he got bumped off stride with 2.5 remaining in this third period. And it's seized by Ottawa. His possession of the puck inside their own zone. To the near side for Angus Crookshank. Into where the middle. Hustling through the neutralized Chabot. Trying to go wide. Carried back in behind the net. Great defensive play there by Colin Miller. Pushed him back in behind the goal, and Miller came away with a puck. Chipped it off the board to his deep partner now in Stanley. Stanley will flush it out towards center ice. Glove down now by Gustafsson. He parades it down inside that Ottawa end and got it in deep. 2 minutes to go in this hockey game. 4-1 Winnipeg. Rolled around to the near side. Up along the boards now Amadio. Will just chip it out towards center ice. And Morrissey will backpedal inside his own zone.
Coming into the game, the third period was the one that Ottawa gave up the most goals against of the 3 periods in a hockey game at 62. But for the most part, they played this third period quite well. Winnipeg got their chances, but Ottawa, generated some looks of their own in the defensive in Winnipeg's zone. And, Winnipeg just able to outlast that, get a couple of big stops from Connor Hellebuck, some big blocks, and they got themselves on the cusp, like you mentioned, of 11 straight.
1:34 remaining in this third period. 4-1 for the Jets. Line it up at center ice. Lowry got entangled there with Yannick. And Yannick will win it. Martin Powell back at his own line. Into where the middle and chipped there by Yannick down inside that Winnipeg end. Rimmed around by Neil Pionk. And goes off of Appleton, hits somebody the bench, falls back on the ice surface. We'll get a stoppage of play. 1:18 remaining this third period. 4-1 for the Jets. So Winnipeg's going to improve to 5-0-1 in game 1 of back-to-backs. What they need to do now is improve on their record of 1-4 in game 2, and they'll have an opportunity at 7 o'clock tomorrow night Central Time to do that in Nashville.
Yeah, the second time this season that Nashville's got Winnipeg off of a back-to-back coming from the East. First time it was Pittsburgh into Nashville. Winnipeg won that first one, and they'll have a chance to try to pick up another victory. But, they got that win on the back of a back-to-back in Colorado, the most recent one that they've played.
Under a minute to go. Sandberg back in behind his own net. And Sandberg to the far side for his deep partner, Pionk. Up along the wing now for Appleton. Sends it down inside that Ottawa end and rolled around to the far side. Out of their own zone, Ottawa will curl back there in Noah Gregor. Ottawa's going to lose 5 in a row now. Even though they're still right on that playoff line. Giving away points right now and running out of games. To the near side. Gustafsson at center ice will dump it in. 20 seconds to go in the hockey game. Senators up along the boards. Thwarted there by Gustafsson. Kapari came away with the puck back to the line. Miller waits, shoots, kicked away by Allmark. And the rebound carried by Amadio to center ice, so one-handed in. You can get on your feet and bring it home. Couple seconds to go. The Winnipeg Jets will stretch their franchise record win streak to 11 straight games tonight with a hard-fought 4-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators in the nation's capital this evening.
Well, you want to talk about momentum shifts. This one really had it. Ottawa came out kind of guns a-blazing, and Winnipeg took advantage of a couple of opportunities, but really had, not much for offensive zone time. Then Winnipeg kind of started to take the game over, but Ottawa gets the big penalty kill at a full 2-minute 5-on-3 plus. And you started to think, okay, maybe they're going to come back, but then Winnipeg just kind of put it on lockdown here in the third, gave up some opportunities, like I said, but, made the plays when they needed to.